The playoff race looms closer as the Otters face the Joliet Slammers in Game 2 from a steamy night at Bosse Field. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Southwest Indiana and historic Bosse Field for Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. I'm Griffin Epstein, joining you this evening alongside our director, Michael Russ. The playoffs looming closer for the Otters and the Slammers. Joliet sitting in 4th place in the Frontier League West. The Otters sitting in 3rd place. Evansville in that last playoff spot. They're now 5.5 games up on Joliet for that last playoff spot. The Slammers trying to make a late push to the playoffs. They need a sweep. The Otters' magic number down to 7 to make the playoffs. Last night, it was all about Joliet. They scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning, added 2 more in the 4th and the 5th, got out to a quick 9-0 lead and cruised from there. The lefty ace, Cole Cook, on the bump for Joliet. He was dominant in his 10th win of the season, and the Otters could not get quality pitching out of their starter, Justin Watland, last night. Slammers 13 hits in the game, 9 runs, that 5-run third, and a comfortable win for Joliet. They've won 4 in a row. The Otters trying to avoid the fate of their last 2 home series. The last 2 home series, the Otters have dropped 2 games in a row. Evansville trying to even up the series at a game apiece, quell the Slammers' bid to get into the playoffs and move the Otters closer to their own playoff spot in the Frontier League West. Time to meet the starting lineups first for the Joliet Slammers. 41-44 on the season, but they're 13-6 in August. Liam MacArthur leads off and plays center field for Joliet. Christian Fedko bats second and plays third base. Zach Bierman batting third, and the designated hitter, Tommy Stevenson, in the cleanup spot. He will catch. Phil Steering bats fifth and plays first base. G.J. Hill batting sixth and playing right. Bottom 3 in the Slammers lineup: Lane Baremore, the left fielder, Matt McGarry, the second baseman, and Tyler DePretta Johnson, the shortstop. The former Otter, he pitched at Bosse Field for 2 years, makes his return today. The righty Ryan O'Reilly on the bump for Joliet. He makes his 7th start of the season for the Slammers with a 4.54 ERA. Starting lineup for the Evansville Otters this evening. They're 46-38 on the season. Noah Myers leads off and is the designated hitter. Kona Quiggle bats second and plays center field. Jeffrey Baez batting third and playing right. Dakota Phillips in the cleanup spot will play first base. Yomar Reyes bats fifth and plays third base. Ethan Skinner batting sixth and playing shortstop for the Otters. Bottom 3 in the Otters lineup: Brian Rosario, the left fielder, Jake Green, the catcher, and rounding out the order, Austin Bose, making his series debut and playing second base. Yohan Castillo will make his 3rd appearance as an Otter and his 1st appearance at Bosse Field, along with his 1st start. Otters and Slammers in the 2nd game of this 3-game series on another steamy hot late August night from Bosse Field, the final Wednesday game of the year here in Evansville. Otters and Slammers, first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
As we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem. Perform time by the Evansville Children's Choir.
Excellent national anthem by the Children's Choir on this hot Wednesday evening from Bosse Field. It was all Slammers last night, a dominant 9-3 victory Evansville trying to bounce back just like they did in the first two series between these two squads, winning the middle game. Yohan Castillo on the bump for the Otters. He makes just his second professional start and his first with the Otters. 2 appearances with Evansville on their 6-game road trip to start the season. He went 2 1/3 scoreless against Florence, allowing 3 hits and no runs before an inning pitched against the Washington Wild Things on Friday. He gave up a 3-run home run for his first 3 runs allowed on the season. Crafty lefty, a 2-seam fastball, changeup, and slider. 5'11" pitcher on the bump. He pitched his last 3 years of school at Georgetown College NAIA School in Georgetown, Kentucky, only about 2.5 hours from here at Bosse Field. He was a first-team All-Mid-South Conference player this past spring. Around Castillo on the diamond, Jake Green catching, Dakota Phillips at first, Austin Boast at second, Ethan Skinder at short, and Yomar Reyes at third base. In the outfield, Brian Rosario is in left today, Kona Quiggle in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right with Myers, the designated hitter this evening for the Otters. It is very hot again. The heat wave continues across much of the central portion of the U.S. 89 degrees, slightly cooler than last night, but humidity even stronger, making it feel 99 degrees outside. Not any wind at all to provide any reprieve. It is all overcast skies, though, no sun, but not expecting any precipitation this evening. Otters in all white uniforms, Otters written in blue across the chest, blue numerals on the back, blue belt, a blue hat with a white front, blue brim, and the blue E on the front. Castillo ready on the bump. His first pitch home is in for a strike to Liam MacArthur, and we're underway. Castillo delivers a breaking ball, sails high. 1 ball and 1 strike to MacArthur. Slammers in their same uniforms as yesterday, all grays. Here's the 1-1. A looping breaking ball misses again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joliet written in orange across the chest. Green numerals on the back with orange piping. The 2-1 to the lefty is cut on and dribbled right side. Gloved by the first baseman Phillips. He beats MacArthur to the bag. 1 away. 1 out. It brings up the third baseman Christian Fedko. Gray pants with green socks and green helmets. A green belt and green socks with a black helmet, topping off the uniform for Joliet. Ready batting Fedko. Castillo sets on the left side of the rubber. Black glove delivers home. A fastball just misses outside for a ball. 1-0. Castillo not a super hard thrower. 87-88. The 1-0 is a breaking ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. He likes to work very quickly, and when he gets into a groove, it can be really tough to face. Crafty lefty NAIA pitchers. The 2-0 on the inside corner for a strike on the fastball. 2-1. It's one of those guys that Max Peterson certainly loves to pick up. I think of a lot of Otters pitchers over the last couple of years that have pitched at the lower levels of college balls. Fedko swings and misses at a ball down in the zone. Castillo gets the ball right back, takes a big deep breath, and he's ready to work, and Fedko needs to call time to take a breather. Castillo just signed right before the transaction deadline a week and a half ago. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Change up on the outside corner, strikes out Fedko. 2 away in the first. It's the first German-American bank strikeout for Castillo. Around the diamond today, our umpires, Kevin Furman at home, Chris Dykman at first, and Robert Davis at third base. Overcast skies on this boiling hot day in the midst of a heat wave here across the Midwest. First pitch to the lefty, Zach Bierman. A slider misses high for a ball. Otters trying to even up this series in a game apiece. Joliet, they've won 4 in a row. The 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Slammers already 3 sweeps in the month of August, and they really need another one here against the Otters to try to continue this out-of-nowhere late playoff surge. The 2-0 sails high. 3 balls and no strikes. Otters' magic number is 7. The Slammers' tragic number, the opposite. 7 for them to be eliminated. Castillo winds and delivers a fastball right down the middle. 3-1 to Bierman. Kick and a delivery. Breaking ball at the top of the zone is strike. And Castillo has worked it back full to Bierman. It's a hot day, not maybe ideal conditions to sit outside for 3 hours, but a bigger crowd than last night. Here's the payoff. Bierman pops it up into center field. Quiggle racing in, long run, and makes the jogging catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Ball cut up in the hot air, and Quiggle makes the no. It bounced. Check that.
The catcher, number 46.
Well, there is a pole right in front of my view, and in 46 games, I don't think the pole has ever obstructed my view, but here in home game number 47, it does. The ball fell in front of Quiggle, and it's a base hit for Bierman. Tommy Stevenson steps in. Righty catcher takes the first pitch strike. Stevenson hit a 2-run home run for Joliet back in the 3rd inning yesterday, part of a 5-run 3rd for the Slammers that really put the game out of reach early. The 0-1, a fastball on the outside corner is strike. Quickly 0-2 to Stevenson. Bierman at first with 2 outs, top first, no score. Castillo working out of the stretch. At the belt, delivers. In the dirt on a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters lost the opener the first 2 series they played against Joliet, both at Dooley Field from the southwest Chicago suburb, and came back and won the middle game in both series. Trying to do the same tonight. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Changeup falls out of the zone. Stevenson strikes out. The second German-American big strikeout of the inning for Castillo. He works around a base hit for a scoreless. Top of the first. Middle of the first, no score between the Otters and the Slammers. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Awesome job down there, kids. Give a round of applause for our winners. Answer Auto Repair East Gallery. Starting on the mound, 44, Ryan O'Reilly behind the plate. 46, Tommy Stevenson.
Back at Bosse Field, Ryan O'Reilly makes his return to Evansville this evening as he gets the nod for the Slammers. No score in the bottom of the 1st inning. The righty O'Reilly pitched 2 years here with the Otters, including a full season last year as primarily a starter. 19 total appearances last year with the Otters, pitched over 100 innings with Evansville as a starter all season. He's now in his 1st year with Joliet. He started the year with the Chicago Dogs and has made now 6 starts this season with Joliet, 1-5, but the record a little bit deceiving. 4.54 ERA, contact pitcher, 19 strikeouts to 9 walks and 35 2/3 innings pitched for the righty from Moquetta, Illinois. Around the diamond for O'Reilly, Tommy Stevenson is the catcher. Phil Steering moves over to first base after catching yesterday. Matt McGarry at second. Tyler DePreda-Johnson had a beautiful day at shortstop last night. Back there again, Christian Fedko at the hot corner at third. Lane Barrymore is in left, Liam MacArthur in center, and G.J. Hill in right field. Edward Jones, leadoff batter for the Otters. Noah Myers will lead things off. Lefty batter to face the righty Ryan O'Reilly. Imagine he's got some butterflies in his stomach as he starts his outing tonight. A first pitch fastball misses inside to Myers, 1-0. Lanky 6'3", 215 righty. While he's only 6'3", extremely tall legs. Makes him look even a little bit taller. Myers swings and drives one into the left center gap. This ball will get down for extra bases. One hopping off the grass of the wall. Myers at second will hold there as the ball's relayed into third. A leadoff double for Noah Myers. The reigning Frontier League Player of the Week continues to hit. It's his 42nd extra base hit of the season. His 21st double. A double to lead off the Otters' day in the bottom of the first. 101 hits now in the season for Myers. He's just had a special month of August. Had a triple yesterday and it's his first at bat for Evansville. So Myers at second. First pitch home to another lefty, Kona Quiggle, taken outside for a ball. O'Reilly, 33 total appearances with the Otters over 2 seasons. Graduated from University of Illinois, Chicago in 2021 and joined the Otters after that at a really good 2021 season as Quiggle takes his strike, 1-1. Had a 2.89 ERA in 12 starts with the Otters in 2021. That was the 4th best ERA in the Frontier League. 1-1 home is dribbled right side past the second baseman, Boaston into right. Myers is held at third as Hill quickly throws it in from right field. Good throw. But the Otters back-to-back hits off O'Reilly to start his day. Runners on the corners for Evansville with nobody out. Quiggle drives one through the 4-3 hole in between McGarry and Steering. Evansville, which never led last night. Otters only 3 runs in the ball game. Came in the 6th inning, right before Cole Cook exited. Get some early offense this evening in the 1st. Runners on the corners, nobody out, no score. Myers at third, Quiggle at first. Jeffrey Baez, the righty, steps up. O'Reilly delivers. Baez swings and lines one down the left field line. It will roll all the way to the wall. Myers will score. Quiggle hustling around to third is held up. So the ball's relayed into the infield. Down to second is Baez. An RBI stand-up double, and the Otters score first tonight. How about 3 straight hits for the Otters? Rudely welcoming back Ryan O'Reilly to Bosse Field. A double by Myers, a base hit by Quiggle, and an RBI double by Baez down the left field line. Still nobody out. Dakota Phillips comes to the plate. Quiggle at third, Baez at second. Infield in for Joliet. O'Reilly home. Phillips flies it out of play. You imagine some butterflies, some nerves for O'Reilly. He's been saying hi to a lot of friends the last couple days. To pitch the ball game too, and the Otters, and a guy like Phillips, who was a teammate for 2 years with O'Reilly, aren't going to be going easy on him. 0-1, swing and a miss. Changeup falls out of the zone. 0-2. Just because your friend's off the diamond, when you step onto the diamond, you're on opposing teams. You may as well be worst enemies. Joliet infield still in. The shortstop DePretta Johnson shaded over closer to the second base back. 0-2 to Phillips. Chopped off the end of the bat, down the third base line, racing over the left fielder Bearmore, but it will bounce onto the concourse. 1-0 Otters off to an early start tonight in the bottom of the 1st. 3 straight hits, double by Myers, single by Quiggle, RBI double by Baez. So an 0-2 count to Phillips. O'Reilly working out of the stretch. Snips at the chest and winds home. Swing and a miss. Change-up in on the hand, strikes out Phillips, and a much-needed first out for O'Reilly. There's one away. Brings up Yomar Reyes, the Otters' third baseman. Quiggle still at third, Baez at second. Yomar, the only Otters player with 2 hits yesterday, went 2 for 4 with a run. Another hot Wednesday night here at Bosse Field under thick overcast clouds. First pitch to Reyes is grounded right to the shortstop. DePretta Johnson will throw home, and tagged out at the plate is Quiggle. 2 outs. Reyes goes to first, but the infield staying in for Joliet, and it pays dividends. DePretta Johnson fields it to throw home to Stevenson in plenty of time. Quiggle tried to swim around the tag, but couldn't get around the glove of Stevenson. So 2 outs. Reyes at first reaching on the fielder's choice. A chance here for Joliet and O'Reilly to get out of this inning with just 1 run across. That would be a win. Ready, Ethan Skinder to the plate. Infield now back for Joliet. Pitch home. This is low, 1-0. To Skinder. grounded left side to DePretta Johnson. He gloves it, tosses to second for the force out, and retires the side in the first inning. 3 straight hits start the inning for the Otters. They get a run across, but strand 2 on 3 hits. 1-0 Otters after 1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Budweiser, the king of beers. Top second from Bosse Field in the midst of a heat wave. It's late August day, the Otters' final homestand of the season. Just 11 games left to play after tonight for Evansville. Their magic number down to 7 to try to make the playoffs, and they're off to a quick start. A 1-0 lead over the Slammers. 3 straight hits for the Otters off the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly in the first inning for a run. Yohan Castillo making his first pro start in the Frontier League. Worked around a base hit in the first with 2 strikeouts for a scoreless inning. Castillo will face Phillips Steering, the righty catcher for Joliet, to lead off the top of the second. 5, 6, and 7 for the Slammers. Castillo home. Steering takes a strike at the letters. Castillo's first 2 appearances of the season for the Otters, both in relief. Here's the 0-1. It's grounded left side to Skinder, collects on the edge of the grass. Long throw across the diamond is over the head of Phillips and back to the backstop. Going to second is Steering, a head first slide in, beats the throw from Green all the way back at the track. And Phil Steering on the E6 goes all the way to second.
Right fielder number 24, G.J. Hill.
Well, Ethan Skinder moved over to shortstop with George Khalil having the night off. Skinder's primarily played at second this year. Ethan making his 14th start of the season at shortstop. And a little bit of a late collect on a ball hit almost to the left field grass, and he airmailed the throw over the head of Phillips. So Steering at second brings up the righty G.J. Hill, who takes the first pitch high for a ball. Nobody out, top of the second, 1-0 Otters lead. One-0 from Castillo, swing and a miss. Fastball in on the hands, 1-1. So Castillo making the start for the Otters. It is his second professional start. He made his pro debut the beginning of the month in August in the Mavericks League in Salem, Oregon. Small independent pro ball league. Capital of the Beaver State. Hill fouls one away straight back, 1-2. 9 innings in total over 2 appearances with the Campesinos de Salem Kaiser in early August. A 4.0 ERA over those 2 appearances. Castillo peeks back at second and delivers home. Hill chops it right side. Phillips will race over at the warning track outside of his reach, and 1 off into the Otters bullpen. Little helpful barrier by a couple guys in the Otters bullpen, just making sure to hold up their hands and make sure Phillips didn't crash into the fence. Long run for the Otters first baseman. Still a 1-2 count to Hill. Now, going to Quiggle in center. He's got to tie his shoe. A brief stoppage before Castillo steps back out to the rubber. Working out of the stretch, arm dangling by his side, looks in for the sign from Jake Green. Has it at the belt and delivers. Swing and a miss. Fastball up in the zone, strikes out Hill. It's strikeout number 3 already for Castillo. 1 out of the second. If you have a group of friends or coworkers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. The Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch the game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Castillo's first pitch to the ready lane, Baremore, is cut on and missed. 0-1. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. You better do it very soon because the Otters only have 4 more home games after today. Not too many more nights on the Corona Extra Patio Deck as Baremore swings and misses again on a changeup. 0-2. Castillo peeks back at second, steering, dancing there, and comes home. A breaking ball misses outside, 1-2. Got a bunch of folks out on the Corona Extra Patio Deck tonight. Don't have to deal with the sunshine in their face. Getting to enjoy some free drinks on a hot evening like tonight. It's better than that. Baremore takes side, 2 balls and 2 strikes. These are the hottest days of the summer, at the tail end of the summer here in the River City and across much of the Midwest and Central U.S. 2-2 to Baremore. Swing and a miss. Changeup falls out of the zone. And how about Yohan Castillo? 4 strikeouts already, and we're just in the second inning. His changeup has been pretty to start. 2 outs. Matt McGarry, the second baseman, comes to the plate. Phil Steering still at second. He reached on a throwing error by the Otters shortstop Skinder. 1-0 Otters lead in the top of the second. Pitch home to the righty. McGarry, swing and a miss. Another changeup from Castillo. He's working quickly, looking confident on the bump. Talking to Castillo a lot on the road trip last week. This is just a very confident guy, the 0-1. Misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike. His first appearance with the Otters at Florence last Wednesday, came into the game in a bases-loaded situation in a close game in front of a couple thousand people. The most fans he'd ever pitched in front of before. 1-1. Sails high, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Castillo was terrific for the Otters. Ended up getting out of that jam without significant damage. Didn't allow a run on his tap. 2 1/3 scoreless, and ended up earning the win for the Otters. The 2-1 misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike to McGarry. Getting his first win in the Frontier League and his first outing on the road. Impressive poise and certainly made a good first impression on his teammates. The 3-1, outside, ball 4. It's the first walk of the night for Castillo. And it puts 2 on for Joliet and brings up the righty shortstop, Tyler DePreda-Johnson. What a night last night for the Slammers shortstop. He was terrific at short, made a couple of web gems. And had an awesome evening at the plate. 3 for 4, 3 singles, batted in a run and scored a run. 2 SoCal guys facing off here. Castillo home. Misses inside to DePreda-Johnson. From Rancho Santa Margarita, California. DePreda-Johnson and Castillo from Rancho Cucamonga. 2 ranchos, both in the LA area. The 1-0 on the inside corner of a strike, 1-1. The 1-1, grind up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Sent from third is Steering. The throw from Quiggle is not in time. Bounces past the green, a glove to the backstop. Both Slammers runners will hold, but Joliet has tied it at 1. DePreda-Johnson driving one up the middle and into center, and Steering coming around to score from second. Even if the throw was accurate from Quiggle, I don't think it would have been in time. It's an unearned run for the Slammers. McGarry at second, DePreda-Johnson at first with the RBI base hit, his 4th hit of the series. And back to the top of the order, and Liam MacArthur. Every run that could be scored the rest of this inning would all be unearned. Castillo home to the lefty. Looping breaking ball sails high, 1-0. McGarry at second to Preda Johnson at first with 2 outs. A run across for Joliet, and we're tied at 1. Castillo fires home. MacArthur grounds one right side. Gloved by the second baseman. Bose tosses to first to beat MacArthur and retire the side. 2-out RBI base hit for Tyler Preda Johnson. Ties the game for Joliet. An arrow walk and a base hit. They leave 2 stranded and score 1. All tied at 1, middle of the second on the Otters Digital Network.
Slide the series going to be upgraded to the actual furniture best seats in the house. Our lucky winner will get to spend the entire game with their feet kicked up in our premium field box seating area. So we say congratulations to Martina Fernandez Rosario, our winner of the best seats in the house tonight. Come on down, grab your best seats.
Bottom second from Bossy, tied at 1 between the Otters and the Slammers in the middle game of this 3-game series. Joliet comfortably took down the Otters last night in a 9-3 victory. Otters trying to even up the series at a game apiece. Brian Rosario, switch hitter batting lefty, leads off for the Otters. Facing the righty, Ryan O'Reilly fires the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. How about these two guys, O'Reilly and Rosario, not only teammates last year with the Otters, but they were also teammates with the University of Illinois Chicago Flames. 1-0. A fastball catches the top of the zone for a strike, 1-1. College and indie ball teammates, and now Rosario and O'Reilly facing off against each other. 1-1 from the big righty. He is cut on and fouled off the screen. 1-2 to Rosario, who's making his series debut. Rosie went 1 for 10 last week, but he did have 3 stolen bases, and his quest is on to try to become the all-time leader in stolen bases in a single season in Otters history. So 45. The record is 50 in a season. He's got 12 games counting today left to play. It's certainly in reach. The 1-2 inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rosario hasn't gotten to play every day for the Otters, which has certainly hurt his quest. Otters have a crowded outfield right now. 2-2 outside, and Rosario's worked it full. Joe Spears, back in 2011, has the record as the payoff comes home. Driven into left, a few steps back for Barrymore, and he makes the catch, 1 away. So a stolen base will have to wait. Another at bat for Rosario. He flies out to left. 1 away. Jake Green comes to the plate. Otters catcher is getting his first appearance in a week. Started last Wednesday for the Otters at Florence in their win against the Youngs. Ready on ready matchup. O'Reilly home. A looping breaking ball at the knees for a strike. Go 1. All tied at 1 in the bottom of the second. 1 out and nobody on a steamy Wednesday night. 0-1. Breaking ball inside, 1-1 strike. Gateway losing last night. Gateway winning last night. Schaumburg losing last night. Washington winning. Their key results around the Otters and the Slammers in the standings. The 1-1. This is inside. 2-1 strike to Green. Otters 6 games back now of Gateway for first place in the West. The Otters do play the Grizzlies 4 times next week, but 2-1 inside, 3-1 strike. The division certainly seems close, if not completely out of reach for Evansville. Joliet 5.5 back of the Otters for the last playoff spot in the West. Washington still hanging around. They're 6.5 back of the Otters, 1 game back of Joliet. 3-1 to Green, outside, ball 4. Jake Green works a walk. First walk given up by O'Reilly. The Otters have 1 aboard with 2 outs, or 1 aboard with 1 out, I should say, as the second baseman, Austin Bose, comes to the plate. So with Schaumburg losing last night, the Otters in shouting distance still of the Boomers for that second spot, 3 games back of Schaumburg, with 3 games left to play against Schaumburg next week. The Otters to finish second potentially and host that Frontier League West wildcard game here at Bosse 2 weeks from yesterday. Austin Bose takes a first pitch strike. Wildcard game will be slated for September 5th, Tuesday evening, day after Labor Day weekend. Green a 2-stride lead at first, the 0-1 to Bose. Inside, 1-1 strike. Bose, another guy making his series debut. Last played on Saturday at Washington. His 14th game straight out of Texas A&M. One to the Aggie. Breaking ball sails high, 2-1 strike. It's been a long summer of baseball for both. Texas A&M went to the NCAA Tournament Regionals, ended up bowing out to Stanford 2 years ago, making it all the way to the College World Series with Bose as one of their leaders. 2-1 is driven high in the air to left center field. Racing back, MacArthur at the track, looks up off the wall. Green hustling to third and will make it safely without a throw. A stand-up double for Austin Bose off the left field wall. Beating up SEC pitchers for years. He takes O'Reilly off the left field wall, and the Otters trying to retake the lead here in the second. Bose missed a home run by maybe a foot. A fastball up at the top of the zone. Bounced it off the tailor-made side and left field. Already the 3rd double of the day for the Otters, only in the 2nd inning. Back to the top of the order, and Noah Myers. Jake Green at 3rd, Bose at 2nd. Myers led off the game with the double for Evansville. Infield in for Joliet. Pitch home to Myers. A breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Otters, who set a franchise record with 9 doubles in a game last Thursday night at Florence. Already 3 doubles here in the second this evening. Lefty on the 0-1, outside, 1-1. Righty pitcher on lefty batter matchup. Noah Myers coming off named Frontier League Player of the Week. Trying to stay red hot. Already with a hit today to move his hit streak to 7 games. 2-0. Outside, 3 strikes to Myers, and O'Reilly looks up in the sky in frustration. He does have first base empty with Kona Quiggle on deck. Big deep breath by O'Reilly. Shakes off a couple sides from Tommy Stevenson. Now sets at the chest. Big kick and the 3-0. Taken all the way for a strike on the outside corner. 3-1. Green led off with a walk, and then Austin Bose to double off the left field wall. Otters have runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd. We're tied at 1. Pitch home to Myers. He is lofted into left field, drifting over his Barrymore. It's off his glove and falling on the turf. Green will score from 3rd. Myers hustles all the way to 2nd base on the left fielder's blunder. It's 2-1 Otters. Awkward play for Barrymore on a liner to left. Really was right at him, but maybe a little bit hotter than he expected, made a little leap up into the air, and the ball hit off his glove and fell behind him. Good hustle by Myers, who never stopped running and made it all the way to second before Barrymore collected and threw in. Green walks home from third, Bose goes to second, and Myers safely at second base. It's going to go down as a double for Myers. A hard hit ball. Credit Barrymore, he certainly would like that play back. About 4 doubles now already for the Otters. 2 today for Noah Myers, who has 22 doubles now on the season. That's tied for the 4th most in the league. Otters looking for more. Boast at third, Myers at second with 1 out, and now Kona Quiggle, the lefty batter, steps in. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Infield still in for Joliet with all 4 infielders' toes just right behind the infield grass. 1-0 delivery. Sails high. 2 balls and no strikes to Quiggle. 2 runs on already 5 hits for the Otters in an error. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for Joliet. Bottom of the second. Otters offense beating up the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. The 2-0. Outside, 3-0 to Quiggle. O'Reilly's added a new addition to the wardrobe this year. He's got silver glasses on. Such a big frame, and they're pretty small glasses. They're a little bit hard to notice. Changed that up this season. 3-0, swing and a miss. 3-1 to Quiggle. Kick and a fire. Swing and a miss again. Fastball up. And O'Reilly has worked it back full. Myers at third. Boast at third. Myers at second. 1 out here in the second. 2-1 Otters. Quiggle had a base hit off O'Reilly back in the first inning. Payoff home. Inside, ball 4. A walk to Quiggle. He takes the open base at first, and the bases are loaded for Jeffrey Baez. It's the second walk of the inning for Quiggle to go around 2 doubles.
The right fielder, number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Baez had an RBI double down the left field line back in the first inning. Dan Schlereth, the Slammers manager, is going to walk out to the mound to have a quick chat with O'Reilly. Not the start he was looking for in his return to Bosse Field. 2 walks, 5 hits, with 4 of those 5 hits going for doubles. The Otters, after just the night last night where they just didn't have a whole lot of energy, nothing really went their way, have come back as they have so often this season and bounced back in a big way early. Trying to force a series decider tomorrow and give themselves a chance. If the Otters can win this series, they have a chance to clinch it home this weekend. And much rather clinch it home than on the road and get to celebrate with your fans and everyone in the front office at the ballpark. Make it an easier ride back home after a lot of champagne. Probably a lot of laundry needed as well. The Otters not thinking about champagne just yet with a magic number of 7. Still a long ways to go. Bases loaded, 1 out. Meeting concludes. O'Reilly back on the bump. First pitch to Jeffrey Baez is fouled straight back. 0-1. Third baseman Fetko aligned with the bag at third. Middle infielders playing back. 0-1 count to Baez. Otters trying to put up a crooked number here in the seconds. 0-1 to Jeffrey. Breaking ball on the inside corner. Pretty change up for a strike. 0-2. Baez hitting .289 on the season for the Otters. A nice 7-hit week. The Otters 6-game road trip last week. 0-2. Chopped foul left side. Baez stays alive. Pitch count for O'Reilly, ready to 40 pitches now in just the second inning. It's not an easy week to pitch into. Air thick, heavy, and hot. Hottest weather all these pitchers pitching in all season. A lot of sweat to deal with as well. The 0-2 again is driven. Third base side, glove by Fedko down on knee. Picks it up, steps on the bag, throw to first, not in time. Baez beats it out down the line. Both scores. It's 3-1 Otters with now 2 outs in the third. Christian Fedko plays a great third base, made a great stop on the hard hit ball down the left field line, down to a knee to glove it. Got back up, got the force out at third. And then the throw across to first, one hop to the bag, and Baez beat it out easily anyways. So the Otters take a run, but a much needed out for the Slammers. 2 away for Dakota Phillips. Myers was the runner out at third. It's Quiggle now at second and Baez at first. Pitch home to Dak. This is outside, 1-0 to the lefty batter. Two across for the Otters here in the second. They lead 3-1. Some insurance for the Otters rookie pitcher Castillo. 1-0 outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. And O'Reilly falling behind a lot of batters this evening. And Evansville's hot bats in the month of August making him pay. Quiet night last night for the Otters. Just 3 runs all in the 6th. As the 2-0 is swung on and missed by Phillips, 2-1. The Otters offense is just a different team when they face right-handed starters compared to left-handed starters. Otters are 8-17 against lefty starters this season. 38 of their 46 wins this year coming when they faced a right-handed starter. 2-1. Popped up by Phillips off the end of the bat down the left field line. Racing back the third baseman. Barrymore reaches up the glove and makes the jogging back catch in foul territory. Nice play by Barrymore, retires the side in the second, but the Otters get more damage off Ryan O'Reilly in the second inning. 2 doubles, 2 walks, and 2 runs across. After 2 innings played, it's the Otters 3, the Slammers 1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Bosse Field, a 3-1 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Time to take a look at the Frontier League standings, brought to you by Seal Corp. We've already chatted about them a little bit. Gateway, their magic number is down to 1 entering tonight. An Otters win here or a Grizzlies win over Windy City. They clinch a playoff spot. They are 4 games up, making 3 games up on the Slammers for the first spot in the West. The Otters 6 games back. Joliet 11.5 back at Gateway, 5.5 back of the Otters for the last playoff spot. Washington still in playoff contention, 6.5 back of the Otters for the final playoff spot in the West. In the East, New Jersey, Quebec, and Tri-City all separated by just a game and a half. The top 3 in the East currently could shuffle around a little bit over the final week and a half of the year. Christian Fedko is the new batter. The first pitch missed it high, and the second pitch from Castillo misses outside, and it's quickly 2-0 to Fedko. Castillo home. Fedko takes high again. 3 balls and no strikes to the former Yukon Husky. 3-1 Otters lead in the top of the third. Castillo delivers, taken all the way for ball 4. Just missed in the top of the zone, and Fedko leads off the third with a walk. Second walk of the evening for Castillo. Back to the back of the rubber, stomping his feet on the cleat grater and grabbing the rosin for a second to get some grip on this hot, sweaty night. Light's just starting to come into effect as the cloudy sky is darkening. Zach Bierman, lefty batter, stands in. First pitch home, a looping, breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Castillo working out of the stretch. Two-stride lead at first for Fedko. A 1. Bierman swings and drives one high in the air to right. Quiggle back at the track, reaches up the glove and makes the catch along the wall. Zach Bierman nearly a home run in his return to his old stomping grounds here at Bosse. As Quiggle pretty much had no room left to go back and deep right center field, making the catch right up against the wall. Allowed first out of the third. Fedko stays at first, and it brings up the righty Tommy Stevenson. Pitch home from Castillo. Breaking ball outside 1-0. Back to the standings. So Gateway, their magic number at 1. Schaumburg is closing in as well on clinching a playoff berth. Magic number 3. Imagine the Boomers get that next couple nights. The 1-0 to Stevenson swung on and missed. 1-1. The Otters, their magic number at 7. In the East, though, all the clutter of New Jersey, Quebec, and Tri-City, all three of those teams both not just searching for playoff position. The 1-1 misses high, 2 balls and 1 strike, but New Jersey, who's in first, their magic number is still at just 7. Likely not going to get any teams clinching in the East until next week. New York and Sussex County still some out of chances at a playoff spot. 2-1 to Stevenson is popped up into right center field. Quiggle racing back again at the wall, and he makes the catch in the exact same spot. 2 away. My goodness. There's some gravitational pull to the Deaconess billboard out in right center field, and Stevenson bashes it to pretty much the exact same spot that Bierman hit it before, and Quiggle just races over there in time to make the exact same catch right along the wall. 2 loud outs by the Slammers, but there's 2 away in the inning. Fedko at first, and Phil Steering, the first baseman, comes to the plate and takes the first pitch low for a ball. I'd stay still in the East. You got to look out for the New York Boulders. Team that had a bad July, the 1-0. Steering grounds up the middle. Over to the right is the shortstop Skinner. Underhand toss to Bose. 2 steps on the second base bag for the force out to end the 3rd inning. A leadoff walk, and that's all for the Slammers in the 3rd. Castillo's worked his 2nd inning scoreless. Middle of the 3rd, it's the Otters 3, the Slammers 1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The Otters are back tomorrow for College Night, sponsored by Heritage, Working Distributors, Thursday, and on Friday we have a bike helmet giveaway and post-game fireworks, sponsored by Ascension. Visit our social media pages for more information on all of our promotions here at Bosse Field. Exciting final week of baseball here for the Evansville Otters. Tickets are still available at EvansvilleOtters.com or by calling 812-435-8686. Hope to see you back in the ballpark later this week.
Bottom 3rd on a steamy night from Bosse Field. It's a 3-1 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Evansville's offense off to a great start against the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. A run across in the first, 2 more in the 2nd for the Otters. By way of the double is the Otters' success early. They have 4 doubles over the first 2 innings to take an early 3-1 lead over Joliet. Johan Castillo's worked 3 solid innings, holding the Slammers just 1 run and 2 hits. Omar Reyes will lead off for the Otters in the bottom of the third inning and face O'Reilly. Reyes reached back on the fielder's choice back in the first inning. Brown beige glove for O'Reilly. Big kick gonna throw home inside to Reyes, 1-0. Yomar, just like Noah yesterday, also reaching 100 hits. Now 100 on the season for Reyes. That's a big accomplishment, 100 hits in the season. That's a lot. 1-0, a looping breaking ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. His first year in the Frontier League, first year in independent baseball. Has to be a resounding success for Yomar. 2-0 swing and a miss, 2-1. 5 years in the Baltimore Orioles organization, as high as Double-A Bowie. 2-1 is chopped left side and foul 2-2. COVID year off, Yomar had some visa issues last year, was slated to play with the Otters. Had to wait until this season, so it was a long time off with Reyes. Got a little bit of winter ball in down in Venezuela, but this season, his first stateside baseball since 2019 when he was in the Orioles organization, and maybe think there's some rust, but Reyes really started the season red hot. A big reason for that Otters 8-game win streak to start the year. The 2-2 misses outside a full count. Hit over 300 that month of May. Key cog of that Otters hot start. Otters an 8-game win streak. The second and third weeks of the year. Since then, the Otters have pretty much been about 8 games over 500. Payoff to Reyes is popped up off the end of the bat. Right down the first base line. Backpedaling the catcher, Stevenson makes the catch. Seems like it would have been an easier play from steering from first, but he got a late break. And Stevenson backpedaling down the first base line, reaching up and making a tough play. Shaking his head and has a smile on his face. He did want Siri to make the play, but nice play by the catcher who was the designated hitter last night. And there's 1 out in the third. Brings up the Otters shortstop Ethan Skinder. Pitch home from O'Reilly, a breaking ball on the inside corner, 0-1. Light starting to come into about 50% effect. Gray darkening sky overhead, a windless and very hot and humid night. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. If you're not at the ballpark, not wanting to brave the heat, certainly understand. Appreciate you joining us on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. We'll be a little bit cooler on Saturday and Sunday. So if you're waiting for a cooler day of baseball, Saturday night obviously is a lot of fun, always at Bossy Field. And Sunday, the last regular season home game of the year, will be a 12:35 start. It's supposed to be in the low 80s to upper 70s. It's going to be a beautiful day for a ball game to finish off the Bossy Field season. The 0-2 is lined into left field and 3 hops in front of Barrymore. A base hit for Skinder. Lined over the head of Fedko, the third baseman. Skinder has his first hit of the day and his second of the series.
The left fielder, number 12.
1 on and 1 out, and it brings up Brian Rosario. 3-1 Otters lead in the bottom of the third. Already 6 hits for the Otters off the former 2-year Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. 3-stride lead at first for Skinder. The pitch home to Rosie. A strike at the knees, 0-1. O'Reilly, we mentioned, he started the year with the Chicago Dogs. Signed by the Dogs in the American Association. Did not have a lot of success with the Dogs. O'Reilly steps off, pick off throw back to first. Diving in safely is Skinder. 2-8 with a 7.29 ERA in 9 starts. Released and picked up by Joliet. Not much of a move. It's about 30 minutes or so down the road, down in the western suburbs of Chicago. The 0-1 misses outside. Skinder down to second on the stolen base throw, not in time. Ethan Skinder, with his 18th stolen base of the season, he's in scoring position with 1 out. Good jump by Skinder. High throw by Stevenson. Depreda Johnson had to make a leaping catch to prevent that ball from going into center. And Stevenson seems to maybe be in a little bit of pain, out of breath. Dan Schlereth, the Slammers manager, out to check on his big catcher Stevenson, as is the Slammers athletic trainer, Samantha DeHardine. Might have been hit somewhere in the arm. Slammers athletic trainer testing out his right arm, or maybe just something on the throw didn't feel right. So Skinner at second with 1 out. 0-2 count to Rosario. 3-1 lead for the Otters here in the bottom of the third inning. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Otters. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors for the Slammers. Stevenson with his hands on his knees, and he's shaking his head. I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue, unfortunately, here for Joliet. They're going to bring out some water for Stevenson. The heat doesn't help as well. You certainly worry about dehydration and overheating on nights like tonight, all these players dealing with. And really, for the most part, it's been a temperate summer in the Midwest. It's not really had a strong heat wave across the Midwest until this week of upper 90s every day with humidity. And unfortunately, whether it's the arm or over-exhaustion, whatever the case for Stevenson, hope he's all right. But he's going to head back to the dugout. And Steering, who caught yesterday for the Slammers as their only other listed catcher, is going to trade him the catcher's gear. So we'll have a little bit of a delay here as Steering trades the gear with Stevenson. Slammers will have to put in a new first baseman. Well, we have a moment. We'll take our first look at the Frontier League Out-of-Town scoreboard, brought to you by WJPS 107.1. In Schaumburg, 4-2 lead for the Boomers over the Wild Things. They're in the bottom of the third. They imagine a little bit less hitting than last night in Schaumburg. What an insane night last night. 20-13, a football score. Washington beating Schaumburg last night. The Wild Things 20 runs on 18 hits. Schaumburg had 19 hits and somehow lost the game, which is unbelievable. Had 2 different innings where a team scored 8 runs. Schaumburg scored 8 in the first. Washington scored 8 in the 6th. And Washington needed a win to keep some very faint playoff hopes alive. Got that in a crazy fashion last night over Schaumburg, but the Boomers always so resilient. To an early lead tonight, 4-2 lead in the top of the 4th from Wintrust Field. I want to give a big shout out too to the Boomers, the voice of the Boomers, Tim Calderwood. Last night was his 1500th Frontier League game he's called. He's been the voice of Schaumburg every season of the Boomers' existence. Not sure he expected in his 1500th game called to have 33 combined runs. Who knows if he's had a game he's called with more combined runs than that, but congratulations to Tim, who's the reigning Frontier League Broadcaster of the Year and one of the great voices and people in this league with a big milestone last night. So Phil Steering has gotten the new catcher's gear to replace Stevenson. A couple warm-up pitches for O'Reilly, and Steering now chatting with O'Reilly. Down to first base for Joliet, replacing Steering is Julian Boyd, I believe. No. Tommy Stevenson is actually going to stay in the game. He's actually just going to move down to first. So wondering if it's just an arm issue for Stevenson. In case if they didn't feel he could throw down to second, but he's okay to remain in the game. So it's just a fielding change. No changes in the lineup. So Stevenson goes from catcher to first, and Steering going first to catcher. The 0-2 to Rosario, swing and a miss, and Rosie down on strikes. That's just a tough luck at bat for Rosario. Had a 3-minute delay and then strikes out on the first pitch he sees after. So 2 outs, Skinner still at second, and it brings up Jake Green. 57 pitches already for O'Reilly here just in the bottom of the third. 3-1, Skinner at second, first pitch to Green, a looping breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1. Jake walked back in the second and came around to score. Sixth game in the month of August for the Otters capture. A 1. Cut off the end of the bat, dribbler up the middle. Picked up by McGarry, the second baseman. He tosses to first in time to get green and retire the side in the third inning. A base hit for Skinder. 1 hit, no runs, 1 left stranded for the Otters in the third. We played 3 innings of baseball tonight. It's the Otters 3, the Slammers 1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Old National Bank. Your success is everything. 3 innings complete from Bossy. It's a 3-1 lead for the Otters after 3 innings. 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for the Otters. Joliet 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Middle game of this 3-game series. A penultimate home series of the season for the Otters with their magic number of 7 to make the playoffs. Well, little special thing trying to do today, feature a couple of the other people besides myself that were and the players that work at Bossy Field on a daily basis as we near the end of the season. And I mentioned him many times on the air. He listens to almost every broadcast I know on the road. It's a pleasure to have the head groundskeeper here at Bossy Field, Dan Klusner, on the broadcast. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. I should probably unmute you because no one heard that.
Thanks
First
for
pitch
having
to G.J. Hill has popped up in foul territory, and Dakota Phillips makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out to Hill here in the fourth. Bringing up Blaine Bearmore, the left fielder. 3-1 Otters lead. Dan, I've mentioned a bunch of times the just incredible amount of work that goes into maintaining the all-natural surface of Bossy Field, and with the weather, it's an amazing effort you put in. The first pitch to Bearmore is taken for a strike, 0-1. Can you kind of take us through what your average day at Bossy Field looks like?
It's a
Bearmore swings and misses 0-2.
dragging the field. I mean, mowing the grass. I mean, it helps that there's just one field to worry about. I came from a municipality where I had 8 or plus fields a day to worry about. So far, so good. I mean, it's a challenge. It's all about timing. So,
2 misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's some days where it's really hot like today. There's other days with rain. The 1-2 swing and a miss. A big changeup by Castillo. 2 away in the fourth. How much does your job vary by, say, a rainy day with the tarp on and a day like today where it's so hot and muggy?
well, a lot of less work with the tarp on because you can't hardly do anything, of course. But when it's hot and muggy, I've learned over the years to just take your time, and you kind of got to hydrate days going into instead of the day of, which was my mistake in my 20s.
2 outs, nobody on for Matt McGarry. 2 quick outs for Castillo here in the fourth. The Otters lead 3-1. First pitch misses inside. 1-0. What is your favorite part about being the groundskeeper here at Bossy?
Probably the surroundings, just where I'm at. I mean, the history of this place is not above me or past me. So, I mean, this is kind of on my bucket list. So, I mean, you ain't gonna find me having a bad day too often here. So.
A 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. McGarry chops one left side. Past the glove of Castillo. Charged by Reyes, the third baseman. Throw to first. In time to get McGarry. Reyes came way over to cut off Skinner in front of him on the infield grass behind the mound on the left side. And just the throw in time to get McGarry. Well, a very quick 1, 2, 3, fourth will have Dan stay on for the bottom of the fourth inning. The Otters lead 3-1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the Paramount Dental Smile Camp. Over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental, based right here in Indiana. Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep smiling with Paramount Dental. Otters fans, don't forget that 2023 brings awesome opportunities to catch the latest Frontier League action on Flow Baseball. You can check out Frontier League and your Evansville Otters there on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. You can visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the fourth inning. A 3-1 lead for the Otters over the Slammers in the middle game of this three-game series. Dan Klusner, the Otters' chief groundskeeper, still with us here in the broadcast booth as Austin Bose will lead off ready batter for the Otters. Dan, the field, I've had so many rave reviews from so many people about how it's looked this year, and it's held up through the whole season. It still looks in great shape. Out of the three natural surfaces I've seen in the Frontier League this year, it's certainly in best condition. What's been your secret this year?
Just attention to detail, really. I mean, I've been doing it for 27 years now, so I've learned a few things along the way. So,
first pitch to Austin Bose, sails high, 1-0. Well, I asked you the most fun part of your job. What is the most challenging part of your job?
Ooh, good question. Really, it was probably just getting the timing down, getting like batting practice before a game, and you got to water before the game, and
both swings and misses, 1-1.
That was the biggest challenge for me. Just everything's just got to have it done by a certain time. Now I got it down, but at first it was a little tricky. Luckily, the GM Travis has helped us, so helped me.
I know Travis did. Travis was, as the general manager of the team, doing a lot of the groundskeeping work last year. So I imagine Travis pretty grateful to have you here, as is everyone. The 0-2 outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So what's been the experience like dealing with players and getting to work on the field and interact with a lot of professional baseball players?
I mean, everybody's been great, really. The staff, the players, front office. I mean, everybody's been very welcoming. That helps. They know I'm here just to do my job. So
both swings and lines on right at the shortstop. DePrete Johnson reaches up the glove and makes the easy catch. 1 out in the fourth.
But I tell the Otters players, hey, I work for the Otters, so if you need anything, you let me know. Because really, I work for them. So
I know there's even a few times we might do this again on Saturday night with quick turnarounds. We have a late night Saturday game, an early Sunday game. You'll stay here and sleep. You sleep with the ghosts of Benjamin Bosse here at the ballpark.
Yeah, they don't bother me.
The lefty Noah Myers, leadoff batter for the Otters, up with 1 out and nobody on in the fourth. Takes the first pitch strike. It's 3-1. Otters in front of the Slammers. Dan the man, I like to call him, the Chiefs groundskeeper here at the Otters, joining us here on the broadcast. Well, Dan, you've watched a lot of Otters. You've listened, and I know to a lot of the broadcasts as well. Here's the 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. What is your analysis on what you've seen from this Otters team this year with 12 games, 11 games after today left to play in the season?
I mean, they have the potential at any time to kind of make a run and go all the way. I mean, they have that talent. I was a little worried at first about
Myers swings the 1-1, lines it into left field, base hit. Through the 5-6 gap, relayed in by Barrymore in left. How about Noah Myers? It's his 3rd hit of the day already, and we're only in the 4th inning.
I mean, he's going to be player of the week again if he keeps this up.
He has been special this year for the Otters. I'll bring up Kona Quiggle, who's reached both times today, base hit in a walk. Myers at first with 1 out. Otters looking to expand a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th, facing the former Otter-ready pitcher Ryan O'Reilly in his first season with Joliet. O'Reilly steps off, pickoff throw back to first. Myers ahead first, dive back in safely 0-1.
Well, as I was saying at the beginning of spring training, I was kind of worried about how their hitting was going to be doing. But, I mean, really, they started hot and timely hitting here and there. I mean, it hasn't been too timely the last couple weeks, but it's baseball up and down, you know.
Jump to Quiggle, misses low for a ball. Myers, a great jump down to second on the stolen base. The ball dropped by DePretta Johnson at short. It wouldn't have mattered. His tag would have been a mile late. What a jump by Noah Myers, who continues to steal bases at an alarmingly high rate in the second half of the season. His 34th stolen base of the season. And he is moving up the charts in the Frontier League in stolen bases. He's in the top 10 now. 34 of 36 on the season, so he's in scoring position. 1-0 count to Quiggle with 1 out. Pitch home, swing and a miss, 1-1. Who's been your favorite player to watch all year for the Otters? We won't tell the other players that you didn't pick.
I mean, I like them all. Let's get that out there.
Of course.
I'm a pitcher guy, so Tim's probably one of my favorite pitchers. I don't know. It's hard not to like Baez and Reyes. They're hilarious in the clubhouse.
And O'Reilly's going to be called for a balk now. He kicks at the grass behind him. Myers will go down to third base. He's stepped on, started his windup, stepped off, and that's the second balk in 2 days called by Frontier League umps here. Justin Watland was called for a balk yesterday that walked in a run, so Myers goes to third. Joliet infield in 1-1 count to Quiggle with 1 out. The pitch home, sail side 2-1.
I mean, these players are really just relatable and super nice and courteous. It's almost like a dream or a trick or something. I'm waiting for it to go bad.
Well, it's been a blast having you here, and I know everyone is just so impressed with all the work that you do every single day here to make the ballpark beautiful. As Quiggle fouls one off his foot, 2-2.
Well, I appreciate it.
I talk with a lot of players, too, and, you know, they love playing on an all-natural surface. Quiggle's going to call time, limping a little bit with that ball off his foot.
Well, being a pitching guy growing up, I might favor the pitching mound a little bit more than other things, but it's one thing I obsess about. Someone will see me in the tunnel of the dugout just staring. I'm not looking at anything but the pitching mound, making sure my clay holds up. So.
Spend a lot of what is the tool called that you pound the
tamper.
The tamper.
Yes.
Spend a lot of time with the tamper, pounding the clay.
Got
to. 2-2 coming. Inside, back to the backstop. Coming home is Myers. Here's the throw, not in time. Noah Myers scores to make it 4-1 Otters, his second run of the game. And look out, Josh Allen. Noah Myers continues to get closer to the Otters legend for the most runs scored in a single season. Ball back to the backstop, pass steering, and Myers scored standing up. Got a great read, and it's 4-1 Otters with the first run across in the fourth. Josh Allen holding the record, 83 runs scored in 2017. With Noah now 78 runs scored. Quiggle swings and pops one up into left field. Over is the center fielder, MacArthur. He's there to make the catch, 2 away. Well, before we let you go, Dan, I know you were talking to me today. You know how to drive Zambonis on ice. What other field maintenance skills do you have?
Well,
and how have you acquired these fascinating skills?
Well, I was born and raised in Bloomington, Indiana, so I came from Bloomington Parks and Rec, and so to fill
the great
out
city of Bloomington.
Yeah, I find that a lot of people here have gone to IU, which makes me happy because I'm a huge IU fan. But
first pitch to Jeffrey Baez, pitch outside, check swing. Baez held up on the appeal, 1-0.
Way back in 2000, to fill out the whole season, when the city made me full time, they had to send me to the ice arena, and I didn't even know that's what was in the building. And the rest I just kind of taught myself. So
1-0 to Baez. Take it on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. I've always wanted to drive a Zamboni. It seems like a lot of fun.
A lot of people do, yes.
I almost got run over by a Zamboni too last summer. The 1-1 to Baez, swing and a miss, 1-2. I was doing an interview during a hockey game and an internship last summer, And, the Zambonis don't stop. I don't know if there are brakes on the Zambonis or not.
No.
And, I mean, interviewing the coach, and the Zamboni came coming through, and we had to very quickly step out of the way. Otherwise, it would have been death by Zamboni.
And the Zamboni's got a couple blind spots, so you got to watch out.
Those are cool machines, though, really cool machines. 1-2 count to Baez. 2 outs, nobody on bottom 4. It's 4-1 Otters in front. O'Reilly home. Baez grounds it third base side, off the glove of Fedko, falls behind him, rolls onto the grass. Baez will be safe at first. Hot shot, one hopped off the glove of Fedko, couldn't squeeze it. And Baez will reach. Is that an error or a hit, Dan?
That's an error.
That's an error? Okay. Dan says an error. We'll see what the official score says. Baez aboard at first to keep the inning alive and brings up Dakota Phillips, who's 0 for 2 today. 7 hits for the Otters today on 4 runs and a 4-1 lead in the fourth. They've scored in 3 of 4 innings against Ryan O'Reilly. Lights are on pretty much into full effect. First pitch coming to Dakota Phillips. Not yet. O'Reilly spins around back to first, and Baez dives back in safely. I ask a lot of people this that come on the air. It's a fun topic of food. Everyone loves food. What is your favorite restaurant in Evansville or the tri-state area? I know you don't live directly in Evansville.
Oh, man.
Pitch home to Phillips, misses low in the dirt. Baez racing down to second, a head first slide in. He didn't even need it. No throw by Steering as the ball trickled away from him. Baez has a stolen base. That's Jeffrey's 15th of the season. He's in scoring position with 2 outs.
I'm a sucker for anything barbecue, so I got onto my wife once. I'm sure she told me, but I got onto her for not making sure I understood that this is like a barbecue capital down here in the tri-state. People love their barbecue, but you definitely won't go hungry here at Bossy, that's for sure.
1-0 on the outside corner to Phillips, 1-1. I love the food in Bloomington, too. There's so many great places to eat in Bloomington. I can only imagine growing up there, too.
But, I mean, I've only been in town 8-9 months, so I don't really have a good pick right now. So
Phillips grounds one right side, 1-2. Baez at second with 2 outs, a 4-1 Otters lead. They did rule it in error on the third baseman, Fedko. Good job, Dan.
thanks.
Again, I would trust you as the official scorer if we need it the last couple days.
If they pay me, I do the book, yes.
It's a lot of pressure, though. Coaches might get mad at you. The 1-2 to Phillips outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some frustrated body language now from Ryan O'Reilly, who's over 75 pitches thrown. Goes back behind the rubber, grabs the rosin bag, trying to get the last out here in the 4th inning. The Otters have beat them up for 4 runs on 7 hits. Peeks back at second, and the 2-2 inside and a full count. What's been your favorite game so far this year, Dan?
Oh, man. Probably the first, I don't know if it was the first, but one of the sudden deaths we won. Was it a sudden death or? Yeah.
The Schaumburg come from behind game was one in sudden
What
death.
about the one recently where the guy didn't tag up or did tag up from third and got?
Yeah, the Washington, that was
Yes.
the Otters' last win just 2 weekends ago.
That was unexpected, so I like
Baez
that.
throwing out the plate, the
Yes.
runner at the plate.
I'm not sure what he was thinking, but we'll take it.
Payoff to Phillips. Swing and a miss. Strikes out on a fastball in on the hands, and that retires his side in the 4th. The Otters, though, add another run. Noah Myers, his 2nd run of the game. 2 hits for the Otters, and it's 4-1 Evansville after 4. Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure. You do an incredible job, as I said, and everyone's both lucky to have you around as the ballpark, both as a worker and a friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Dan. We'll be back for the top of the 5th. It's 4-1 Otters on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Bosse Field. It's a 4-1 lead for the Otters after 4 innings played. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the Otters, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error for the Slammers. Yohan Castillo looking great for Evansville on the mound. His first start with the Otters in his 3rd appearance, 61 innings pitched, 61 pitches thrown, I should say. 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, coming off a quick 1-2-3 4th against the Slammers. Otters have scored runs in 3 of 4 innings. And to continue our guests in the broadcast booth on this Meet the People Behind the Scenes of Bosse Field, excited to have a fellow Hoosier alum in the booth. The director of food and beverage here at Bosse is the first pitch to Deprete Johnson in for a strike. Bryson Moore. Bryson, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Griffin. It's great to sneak away and have a little bit of time to watch the game and talk baseball.
Deprete Johnson takes a strike, 0-2. Well, Bryson, you've been here now 3 years with the Otters?
Right, 3rd year.
0-2, chopped right side, past Boast into right field. Deprete Johnson leads off the 4th with a leadoff base hit. He has 5 hits already on the series, 2 singles today. Runner at first, back to the top of the order, and Liam MacArthur. I know you've done a lot of things at Bosse Field, but tell me now, is that you're a full-time member of the Otters. Tell me what your job entails this year.
So a lot of this year has been kind of like you mentioned, running the food and beverage, making sure that we have all the food here and ready.
So MacArthur takes the pitch outside, 1-0.
Setting up everything that you kind of see is I kind of play a part in and have a hand in making sure that the game runs smoothly.
1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
And the biggest part is the fans. You know, it's trying to make sure that everything that we have here is fun for the fans. It's a family-friendly environment. Just making sure that they have a good time here is really my key job.
That's a good way to put it. As MacArthur takes his strike 2-1, and what I mean, you worked here longer than most other people here at Bosse Field the last 3 years. The 2-1 inside, 3-1. What's your favorite part of working with the Otters and working at Bosse on a daily basis?
Definitely the people. It has to be the people, and I think you have to enjoy, especially minor league baseball.
MacArthur takes a strike, a full count.
The amount of hours and work that gets put into a season, you have to enjoy who you work with, and I'll never forget. Every year it's a great group of people, but
payoff is grounded right side, covered by Boast, the second baseman, tosses to second, back to first, not in time. MacArthur will trade places with Deprete Johnson at first, a 4-6 fielder's choice. There's 1 out, MacArthur at first, Deprete Johnson out, and Fedko comes to the plate here in the top of the 5th. It's 4-1 Otters.
It really feels like this year, more than others, we've had the best group of people. It is by far the best group of interns, and I think I've said that to a couple people that we've had here, not only in terms of talent, but people. We've had great people come through this year.
People do truly make a place as Fedko takes outside for a ball, 1 out. Pitch coming from Castillo. Another breaking ball. Back to that changeup on the outside corner. 1-1. I'm curious because you grew up in the tri-state area. Did you grow up coming to Otters games? Did you ever imagine that you'd be working here as a full-time employee as Fedko takes slow 2-1?
You know, it's funny. I don't really have many memories of going to Otters games, but my parents were cleaning out the house while I was away this year, and they found a couple of old Otters memorabilia. Before the last logo's logo.
Swing and a miss by Fedko, 2-2.
And a couple pictures of signed baseball. You know, the stuff that we do every night for kids. I guess I was one of those young kids, and never in my life did I think that the Otters would be in the works. It was a crazy story how I even started as an intern, and
2-2 misses outside, full count.
Even after the first year, I didn't think there was a second year. And after the second year, I didn't think there was a third year. So it's been a crazy ride, but I've met some wonderful people along the way, and I'm glad it's happened.
Payoff misses inside to Fedko, and there's 2 aboard for Joliet here in the 5th. MacArthur at second, Fedko at first. 3rd walk of the evening for Castillo. Zach Bierman, former Otter, will come to the plate, and the Otters pitching coach Max Peterson will come out to have a word with Castillo. It's 76 pitches here. Oh, Bryson, you've had three years here. I guess you've seen a lot of games, a lot of memories. What is your favorite memory on a game day at Bosse?
Well, I think I have a couple. Obviously, this year, our July Thirsty Thursday, where we had the beer snake going. We had 5,100 here in the crowd. I think that nights like that truly make it fun and worth it. Just seeing the crowd, the energy, everyone having a good time. If I'm not mistaken, we even won that game, which puts the cherry on top.
John Beamer warming up in the Otters pad.
That was really fun this year. I've got countless stories from employees that I think I'll always take with me. But my first year in 2021, coming out of the pandemic.
Castillo ready to Zach Bierman. The pitch home. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0.
They were implementing a couple new rules, trying out some new things. They did a home run derby after the 10th inning instead of the sudden death tiebreaker that we do now.
The 1-0 gets past Green and rolls back to the backstop. Both runners will advance. MacArthur to third, Fetco to second, with still 1 out at 2-0 count to Bierman.
And the staff had to go out there and shag balls and catch the fly balls. And just watching the home run sale, the energy of the home run derby determined the winner. The fans loved it. To me, that's something that's always stuck out to me.
So you say be gone with the sudden death tiebreaker, bring the home run derby back. That was a 1 year only in 2021. The Frontier League had.
I loved it. I know that
Bierman is hit on the back. I'll load the bases.
I know that a lot of people were against it because it's not truly the right way to determine the outcome of a game. But from an entertainment standpoint, it was second to none.
I can imagine it'd be something. Castillo hitting Bierman on the back with the changeup. And after Max Peterson quickly made a visit to chat with him and John Beamer warming up, that's going to do it now for Castillo. You want to stay on or you got enough,
Yeah, I got
Bryson?
plenty of time.
Okay. Bryson will stay on for the other side with John Beamer coming into the ballgame. Bases are loaded here for the Slammers with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Castillo's day ends. A strong outing for him, but Beamer will try to work out of the jam here in the 5th. It's 4-1 Otters. Back in a moment on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Call the bullpen for the Evansville Otters. In to pitch the battery, number 18, John Beamer on the mound. Tim J. Green behind the plate. Pitch catch battery is brought to you by the Answer Auto Aries. Find your play battery needs at the Answer Auto Aries. Over that team, give me a call 812-475-9000.
Back at Bosse Field, top of the 5th inning, Joliet with their biggest threat of the day. The base is loaded with 1 out, a 4-1 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. The ready, John Beamer coming in out of the bullpen for the Otters. 3.38 ERA on the season for Beamer. He makes his 35th appearance of the year. Tied for the most on the Otters. 50 2/3 innings of work, 63 strikeouts to 23 walks. His last outing was all the way last Wednesday against Florence. He made his first start of the season. Didn't look super comfortable starting. 79 pitches, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, and had 4 walks over 3 innings pitched against Florence. But he has been really good out of the bullpen this season. He faces the ready catcher, Tommy Stevenson. Stevenson takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Check swing, and he held up 1-0. It's a big spot here, Bryson, for the Otters, and Beamer trying to get out of the jam and keep the Otters' 3-run lead intact. 1-0 coming from Beamer. Grounded third base side, down to Aeneas Reyes to glove it. He tosses to second for 1, over to first, not in time. Oh, what a double play that would have been, but the Otters get a big second out. 1 run scores for Joliet, and it's now 4-2.
That was a heck of a play there by Yomar to even give him a chance at the double play and at the minimum getting an out there, which is always important.
Down to a knee to field it on a really hard hit ball. It's 103 miles per hour off the bat. I don't call it the hot corner for nothing. The 5-4 out, and then Stevenson just able to run it out down the line. MacArthur scores. Fetco to third. Bierman the runaround, and now it's Phillips Steering who takes the first pitch outside 1-0. So Beamer an out away from escaping. What have you seen, Bryson, from the Otters this season? You've watched this team for the last couple years.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking kind of the lineup and the roster that we have now.
1-0's outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Steering.
In my 3 years, this might be the most complete team I think we've had. Obviously in 21, they were second, third best in the league, but failed to make the playoffs, and last year making the playoffs. But I really like the roster of this team. I think they're capable of making a deep run here.
2-0 to Steering outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
But I like the offense. I think that's been really clicking of late. I think we do have the rotation in the bullpen, kind of as we saw earlier in the year, to really try and make a run at this Frontier League Championship.
3-0 coming to Steering. Beamer delivers slow, and that's a 4-pitch walk. So that will reload the bases. And bring up G.J. Hill. After the quick out by Beamer, a bunch of pitches that were not close to Steering. Fetko at third, Stevenson goes to second, Steering at first, and it brings up the lefty G.J. Hill, who's 0 for 2 today. Otters holding on to a 4-2 lead, 1 run across in the 5th here for Joliet. Hill had a big night last night with 2 hits. The first pitch to Hill, cut on and miss. Foul tipped into the glove, 0-1. Tough spot for Beamer to come in out of the bullpen with the bases loaded. Got the 5-4 ground out. Now a walk, looking for the last out of the 5th to keep the Otters' lead intact. 0-1 home. Cut on and grounded right side, 0-2.
They don't call him high leverage for no reason.
Beamer has been used in just about every situation this year for the Otters. He's been a starter, he's been a closer, he's been a long inning guy, and he's been throwing him in, as you said, Bryce, in these high leverage spots to just work you outs in key spots even in the middle of a ball game. 0-2 to Hill. Swing and a miss. Sinker falls out of the zone by Beamer, and he strikes out Hill to lead the bases loaded. Just 1 run in the 5th for Joliet. Well, Bryson, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been great having you as a friend, especially around the press box a lot this year, and you and Lucas and your whole team truly do an incredible job getting everyone fed and drunk here at Bosse Field, and without you, this ballpark would not be the same.
No, I appreciate it, Griffin. Thank you for the opportunity, and it has been fun. We got a couple more left.
Looking forward to a few more. Well, thanks, Bryson, for hopping on. We'll be back on the other side. It's a 4-2 lead for the Otters, middle of the 5th on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of 5 from Bosse Field. 4-2 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Joliet, biggest threat of the day in the top of the 5th inning. As they chase the Otters starter Yohan Castillo out of the game after a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. But John Beamer able to enter, and just 1 run coming across with him on the mound. It was on a ground out. Did walk a batter to load the bases, but a strikeout of G.J. Hill ending the inning. And in the end, for the Slammers, having the bases loaded twice, only getting 1 run. A disappointment in the 5th. The Otters a 4-2 lead here going into the bottom half of the inning with Yomar Reyes leading off against the righty Ryan O'Reilly. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the Otters, 2 runs, 3 hits on 1 error for Joliet. O'Reilly, imagine getting towards the end of his outing. 82 pitches now here in the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch from the former Otter is a strike into Yomar Reyes, 0-1. Otters have scored in 3 of the 4 innings against O'Reilly. Pitch home, a strike on the outside corner. 0-2. 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, and then 1 more in the 4th. One-two to Reyes. Swing and a miss. No, got the end of the bat. Check that. Just got a piece of it, and steering couldn't squeeze it, so Reyes stays alive. Lights into full effect under a dark sky now on this hot late August night. A heat wave. The end of the summer. 1-2. Chopped off the end of the bat. No, didn't get a piece of it, but it rolls back to the backstop. Picked up by Steering. The throw to first, not in time. A swinging strike 3 by Reyes, but a ball that got by Steering and rolled all the way to the backstop, and his throw from the backstop, not in time to get Reyes. Sometimes the ball will take a ricochet off the backstop and come back to the catcher's Steering, but didn't have really enough spin on it. And Steering had to go all the way back by the Otters dugout to make the throw, and Reyes able to beat it down the line. So he reaches on a strikeout. And Ethan Skinder 1 for 2 today comes up. 4-2 Otters lead. Skinder shows bunt and lays one down the third baseline. Riley back to Bear, and it bobbles it. Falls back on the turf, and Skinder escape at first. Great bunt by Ethan Skinder down the third baseline. Only play was for O'Reilly. Tried to barehand it, bobbled it, and dropped it. And a frustrating day continues for O'Reilly in his return to Bosse. Inning starts, a runner gets to first on a swinging strike 3, and now a drop ball on a great bump by Skinder that will be ruled an infield base hit. So 2 on for the Otters with nobody out for Brian Rosario. Switch hitter batting lefty. Rosie shows bunt and lunges at one, foul down the third base line. 8 hits already for the Otters. After a listless night last night, have bounced back and look comfortable tonight offensively. Got a good start from Johan Castillo in his first start with the Otters. And to the Evansville bullpen now. The Otters offense trying to get some more insurance. 0-1. Rosario shows bunt again. It comes inside and hit him. Pulled back the barrel and tried to back out of the way, and it still hit him off the arm. The Otters have the bases loaded without a ball leaving the infield. Reyes advances on the swinging strike 3. Skinder an infield base hit off the bunt, and now Rosario hit to load the bases with nobody out for Jake Green. And the Otters have had a couple chances to put up crooked numbers, have another chance here in the 5th. Waiting at the mound is Steering Stevenson, Fedko, and O'Reilly all chatting. Joliet's getting some stretching going in their bullpen. No one throwing just yet, but looks like Slammers are going to need to get someone throwing soon. Green is 1 for 2 today, walking the second and came around to score. And a big spot here. His 34th start of the season for the ready catcher from Saxe, Texas. First pitch home is flied right side and caught by the first baseman. Stevenson goes back and tags out Rosario, but Rosie made it safe to the bag, 1 away. Oh, that nearly was a spectacular double play by Stevenson. He still made a great catch on a flare off the end of the bat, playing in at first to make a leaping catch, and then spun around and nearly took out Rosario, who head first slide back to the bag, just got back in safely. So 1 out on 1 pitch, and now it brings up Austin Bose with the bases still loaded. Corner infielders in for Joliet. With 1 out here in the 5th, the Otters lead 4-2. Pitch home, outside, corner for a strike, 0-1. Bose turns around to shake his head at the call from Kevin Furman. It's Reyes at third, Skinder at second, Rosario at first with 1 out in the 5th, and a 4-2 Otters lead. Pitch home from O'Reilly inside, and it hit post. A breaking ball hit him on the left shoulder, and that walks home a run. Second hit batter of the inning by O'Reilly. Reyes jogs home from third, and it's 5-2 Otters. They get 4 runs in 5 innings now for Evansville. Still, a ball hasn't left the infield here for O'Reilly in a frustrating 5th. Back to the top of the order, and Noah Myers. What a day it's already been for the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. He's 3 for 3, 2 doubles, a single, and 2 runs. Lefty batter, pitch home. Myers fouls it off the screen, 0-1. Skinder's at third, Rosario at second, and Bose now at first. 2 hit batters. Reyes reached first on a swinging strike 3 that got back to the backstop, and a bunt base hit by Skinder that bounced off the hand of O'Reilly. O'Reilly peeks back at second and delivers. A changeup just misses low, 1-1. 95 pitches now this evening for O'Reilly. His first trip back to Bosse Field since being a member for 2 years with the Otters. Started the season in the American Association with the Chicago Dogs. The 1-1 grounded right side and foul, 1-2. Zach Bierman also with Joliet coming back here to Bosse Field after being with the team last year, and so many players came up to Bierman and gave him a lot of hugs and swapping stories, and it was really the same with O'Reilly yesterday when the Slammers got into town, especially because most of these guys hadn't seen O'Reilly since last year, and like Bierman, who's already been here to Bosse Field, there was a lot of excitement for a lot of the Otters pitchers to recollect with their past teammate. 1-2 by Myers is lined into center field, racing back. MacArthur reaches up and makes the catch. Tagging from third is Skinder. He'll score without a throw, and the Otters extend the lead 6-2. Myers adds an RBI to his big day. A sac fly to center. Skinder walks home. MacArthur threw to third, but Rosario beat out the throw. So runners on the corners for the Otters. There's 2 outs as Kona Quiggle comes to the plate. 5-2 Otters over the Slammers. Make it 6-2 with 2 across in the 5th. Quiggle's 1 for 2 today, base hit and a walk. O'Reilly steps off, throw back to first, and back in safely is Bose. Just been an impressive day for the Otters offense. You put up a crooked number in one big inning, and that often wins you the game, but I think it's more impressive offensively when it's inning after inning after inning. You're scratching across 1 or 2 runs. It's a tenacious, focused offense that 1 through 9 has a lot of batters playing well. Another pickoff throw back to first. Again, safely in his post. So what we've seen from the Otters today, they've had a runner in scoring position every inning, runs in 4 of 5 innings. And having an impressive performance this evening here at Bosse. Pitch home to Quiggle, sails high, 1-0. Otters offense that's had a lot of good moments in this month of August. Had a electric series at Florence when they scored 33 combined runs over 3 games to start last week, their most runs in any series all season. Another pickoff throw back to first, and that's 3 disengagements. So that's going to walk home Rosario from third and move Bose to second. O'Reilly turns around with his hand up in the air. He doesn't believe it, but it's the first time I've seen that all year. 3 disengagements by O'Reilly, made 3 pickoff throws. That means each runner advances a base. Wow. Just lost count in his head on what's just been an evening where nothing's gone all right for O'Reilly. So Rosario walks home. Bose goes to second. 3 runs across in the 5th, and it's 7-2 Otters. 1-0 misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And he made back-to-back pickoff throws back to Bose to right before he even threw a pitch to Quiggle, and then just completely forgot about it. (2-0) to Quiggle, swing and a miss, 2-1. Otters offense in the month of August, hitting .262. Extra bases have been big with 22 home runs already in 19 games. Otters coming off July, which was their best month of offense. 2-1 inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. No home runs tonight for the Otters. That really carried Evansville in their winning road trip. Had a home run in every game. It's been 8 hits tonight. 4 doubles as part of those 8 hits, and a tenacious Otters offensive attack all around. 3-1 from O'Reilly, way outside into the left-handed batter's box. That's a walk to Quiggle, and there's 2 aboard with 2 outs. It's only been 1 hit in the inning for the Otters, 2 hit batters. Reyes advancing, reaching first on the swinging strike 3, and Quiggle now aboard on a walk.
The right fielder, number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Second walk by O'Reilly as Jeffrey Baez is the 8th batter of the inning to come to the plate for the Otters. 3 across, and the Slammers still sticking with the righty pitcher. There is an arm warming in the pen. First pitch to Baez, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, the Otters, they beat the Slammers. It means that Gateway clinches their first playoff berth in 10 seasons, but the Grizzlies also can take care of business themselves by just winning. The 0-1 misses low, bounces off the elbow, or the shoulder of Steering, and back into the Otters dugout. Both runners will advance, and now Steering is in some pain. It's been a messy inning for Joliet. Bose goes to third, Quiggle to second. 1-1 count to Baez, and for the second time this evening, Samantha Desjardins, the Joliet athletic trainer, out to discuss with Steering and make sure he's okay. He is. Settles back behind home plate. Gateway leads Windy City 2-0, top 6 in Sojay. So Grizzlies potentially win that game before this is over. They can clinch on their own terms. Baez flares one right side and hooking foul. 1-2. Schaumburg leads Washington 4-3, top 6 from Wintrust Field. Frontier League Town scoreboard check brought to you by WJPS 107.1. Washington and Joliet losing means the Otters closer to a playoff berth. 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But at the same time, Schaumburg and Gateway winning means the Otters trying to finish second or still on the slim hopes of winning the division. It's farther and farther away from them. 11 games for the Otters remain on the season after today. 2-2 to Baez. Pitch home, popped up, out of play. This long inning continues here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 106 pitches for Ryan O'Reilly. Boast at third, Quiggle at second with 2 outs. 3 runs across in the 5th for the Otters, and they lead 7-2. Joliet had their chance in the top half of the 5th. They loaded the bases twice, but got just 1 run across that. The tying run on base. Couldn't get a big inning, and the Otters have now extended the lead to a comfortable 5 runs here in the bottom half of the 5th. Another 2-2 home. Popped up right side, out of play. Good battle between Baez and O'Reilly. It's been the Otters at bats all day, not going down easy tonight. O'Reilly delivers. Check swing by Baez and a pitch in the dirt. He held up on the appeal down to first, and Chris Dykman on a full count. And O'Reilly just praying somehow to find a way to finish this difficult 5th inning. John Beamer came in to finish the 5th for the Otters out of the bullpen, slated to come in for the 6th. Payoff home. Inside, ball 4. What an at bat from Jeffrey Baez. held off a bunch of pitches, baited his time, and eventually works a walk on 7 pitches. And that's going to do it for O'Reilly. Bases loaded again here in the 5th. Dakota Phillips coming up. And Joliet will try to go to the bullpen to keep this game within arm's length. Bases loaded for the Otters. Bottom of the 5th, they lead 7-2. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Call the bullpen, Joliet Slammers. Now pitching number 33, Griffin, Maslin on the mound. Steering behind the plate, pitch catch battery brought to you by the Answer Auto Repairs. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repairs, located at 2319 North River Road. Give a call at 812-475-9000.
Brand Van Asland into the ball game for Joliet with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, trying to keep the Slammers within shouting distance. They trail 7-2 to the Otters, 3 runs across in the 5th for Evansville. Van Asland, not great numbers on the season, making his 23rd appearance of the year. 9.69 ERA in 26 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, but he's walked 22 batters. His last outing came last Wednesday against Windy City up at Joliet. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in an inning pitched against the T-Bolts. Big righty sets at the belt, and the first pitch home to the lefty Phillips. Outside, ball 1. Van Asland, 6'4", 225, out of Monaco, Illinois, near Joliet. Flutters the brown glove and delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to Dakota Phillips. He's the only Otter yet to find a way on base today. He leads the Otters with 69 RBIs. That's a huge opportunity here to add a few more. Aslam will step off and wipe the sweat from his brow. One at the letters, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Phillips. 69 RBIs, tied for 5th most in an Otters single season. And he is 2 away from tying Josh Allen for the 2nd most RBIs in franchise history. 1-2, swing and a miss. Now the ball fell out, but got a piece of it, and Phillips stays alive. Ball popped right out of the glove of Steering. That's the 2nd time in this inning he hasn't been able to squeeze one, so Phillips just got a piece of it, and will stay a 1-2 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th, 7-2 Otters lead. Pitch home, outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Popped up left side and out of play. And the Otters' long, patient at-bats continue. It's busy work for the Otters' bat boy Eddie's. Having to get a ton of new baseballs for Kevin Furman behind the plate, but the Otters will take the little extra expense for all these new baseballs they're going to have to buy with the offensive output from tonight. Van Asselin out of the stretch, delivers home. Phillips grounds one third base side, right at the third baseman. Fedko races to the bag and beats Quiggle there for the third out of the inning. So Van Asselin comes in and gets a much-needed out for the Slammers. Strands the bases loaded in the fifth, but the Otters still get 3 more runs across, and after 5, they lead 7-2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Working Distributors Evansville. Top 6 from Bosse Field on a hot Wednesday night. The Otters lead the Slammers 7-2. 3 runs in the fifth for the Otters, 7 runs on 8 hits. They beat up the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. John Beamer, who got out of a bases loaded jam in the top of the 5th inning, will look to eat up a few more innings for the Otters with now a 5-run lead. Beamer got the last 2 outs with the bases loaded in the 5th. 1 walk, a ground out, 5-4 ground out for the first down, and then a strikeout at G.J. Hill with the bases loaded to retire the threat. He'll face the bottom 3 in the Slammers lineup with the left fielder Lane Barrymore leading off for Joliet. Beamer on the right side of the rubber, kicks and delivers to Barrymore, swings the first pitch and lines it into center field. Field steps over his Kona Quiggle, reaches up and makes the catch, 1 away. For a landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. 1 out, nobody on for Matt McGarry. 7-2 Otters lead. Beamer home. McGarry takes the strike on the inside corner. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. Have a project in mind? Find them on Instagram, wildspaces.com. McGarry takes another strike at the knee, 0-2. McGarry will call time. And Otters win, and they lower their magic number to 5 to make the Frontier League playoffs. And the Slammers' 4-game win streak comes to an end, and their playoff hopes officially go on life support. 0-2 on the inside corner, ring 'em up. Nasty from John Beamer. 75 right in on the hands. Gary left looking. Second German-American bank strikeout for Beamer. 2 quickly down here in the 6th as it brings up the shortstop, Tyler DePreta Johnson. Slider in on the corner by Beamer. He used a sinker to get Hill to strike out in the 5th. First pitch to DePreta Johnson popped up right side on the infield. Phillips coming down the first base line, reaches up and makes the catch. That could have not been easier. A 5-pitch 6th inning for Beamer. Middle of the sixth, Otters in front 7-2 on this Wednesday night from Bosse Field. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Fans, it's time for the dance cam, brought to you by Drake's. Get up and dance. Drake's is your go-to for 24 beers on tap, big burgers, and the freshest sushi in town. Visit Drake's at 1222 Herschel Road or drakescomeplay.com. Now, let's dance. Wonderful Otters Digital Network crew getting us some great angles tonight. Mike Russ pushing the levers and turning the knobs. John L. Smith, Devin Kinney, and Dan Murphy manning the cameras around the ballpark. Ian Klingler helping up here as well. The third baseman, number 28, Yomar.
7-2 Otters lead as we move to the bottom of the sixth inning from Bosse Field. The Otters, impressive offensive showing tonight. 4 doubles, 8 hits, and they scored in 4 of 5 innings off the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. Slammers went to the bullpen to finish the 5th inning. Brand Van Aslen out for a first full inning of work. Yomar Reyes swings the first pitch, lines it up the middle, gloved by the second baseman Gary, toss across the base to first in time for the first out. High chopper, good play by McGarry for the 4-3 ground out on 1 pitch in the 6th. Brings up Ethan Skinder, the Otters shortstop. Big day for Skinder. 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run. Ethan coming off 2 of the as clutch as you can get back-to-back days for the Otters to win the series at Washington, winning the last 2 games of that series against the Wild Things in Pennsylvania. First pitch to Skinder, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Ethan had a leadoff double in the 3rd inning on Saturday against Washington, came around to score the tying run, and then hit the go-ahead solo home run in the 5th inning, and that would hold up for a 2-1 Otters win. The 0-1 grounded left side right to the shortstop. DePreda Johnson collects, tosses to first, 2 away. 2 quickly down here for Van Aslen in the 6th. It'll bring up Brian Rosario, the Otters left fielder. So Skinder, he would come back up on Sunday for the Otters. A runner on at first, nobody out in the 9th. Otters trailing by 1 to Washington with the series on the line. With Reyes at first and nobody out, he looked to lay down a bunt. He actually popped up the first pitch behind home plate, 0-1 count. Andy McCauley, the Otters' third base coach and manager, again signaled for Skinder to lay down another bunt. First pitch to Rosario misses low, 1-0. Skinder missed the sign and fouled the pitch off. Now it was 0-2. Skinder looks back to Andy McCauley and sees a very disappointed Otters manager. Now he's not going to have the opportunity to lay down the bunt with 2 strikes. 1-0 to Rosario is flied left side. So what does Skinder do? The pitch comes home, and he launches the go-ahead 2-run home run over the left field wall, and the high five with Andy McCauley over at third base is a fun one. Skip and Ethan had a pretty good laugh after the game, and Ethan was like, thank goodness I hit that. I was going to really be in the doghouse if that was a pop-out. Rosario takes a strike. 1-2. And McCauley has been around independent baseball about as long as anyone can, over the last 20 years. So that's second time in his career that's happened. He's asked for a bunt to be laid down, and instead someone's hit the go-ahead jack, and everyone can go home happy. Maybe the most clutch hit of the season for Skinder, and how about that? And the funniest circumstances is possible because of a missed sign. The 1-2 is popped up by Rosario. Lazy fly ball on the edge of the left field grass. DePreda Johnson back, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Van Oslen picks a quick 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. We've played 6 innings of baseball tonight from Bosse. It's the Otters 7, the Slammers 2, the Otters Digital Network, and Flow Sports.
A fan who wants a t-shirt. Our staff members and the Otter Boys are coming around with some t-shirts. But you gotta be loud. Only the loudest fans of Bosse Field tonight can get themselves a free t-shirt. Still some t-shirts out there. You gotta make some noise if you want one. Skip the line or bank for the comfort of your own home with the self-service options of Heritage. Heritage, a proud partner of the Evansville Otters.
Top of the 7th inning from Bosse Field. The Otters closing in on their first win of the week, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. Evansville leads Joliet 7-2 this evening, trying to bounce back from a loss last night. It's been an excellent performance by the Otters offense, scoring in 4 different innings, including a 3-run 5th. And how about Johan Castillo in his 3rd appearance as an Otter, first at home, first start in the Frontier League. Goes 4 1/3 strong innings to start the day for the Otters, allowing just 1 earned run on 3 hits. John Beamer's worked the last inning and 2/3 out of the bullpen. He's needed just 14 pitches as well to get the 5 outs, and he will face Liam MacArthur to lead off in the 7th. The first pitch to the leadoff slammer missed outside. 7-2 Otters lead, top of the 7th. 1-0 from Beamer, sails just at the top of the zone for a strike, 1-1. Deep breath from the righty from Kentucky, and he delivers. It's lined into center field. A few steps in, his Quiggle reaches up the glove and makes the catch, 1 away. Well, we've checked in a lot on the Gateway and Schaumburg scores tonight affecting the Otters, but it's time for a full look of the out-of-town Frontier League scoreboard. Brought to you by WJPS 107.1. Tune in every Monday through Friday on WJPS 107.1 for the Otters Daily Update with Zane Clodfelter. Have some finals to report in the East tonight. First pitch to Fedco, misses low for a ball, 1-0. Quebec, after falling last night to Tri-City, an emphatic win tonight, 10-0 victory for the Capitales over the Valley Cats. They'll play a huge rubber match tomorrow in that series. Pitch home to Fedco is flied right side out of play, 1-1. And New Jersey drops their 2nd straight game at Ottawa. They fall 9-4 to the Titans, playing some spoiler ball. So with Quebec winning, the Capitales are now a half game up over the Jackals for first place in the East. Tri-City a game and a half back. The 1-1 inside and just missed Fedco's jersey, trying to convince Kevin Furman that it hit him. Home plate umpire is not convinced. 2 balls and 1 strike to Fedco. 1 out, nobody on, top 7. 7-2, Evansville in front. 2-1, outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. New York trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Defeats Empire State, or leading Empire State. They're almost done. Bottom 8th from Pomona. 10-1 lead for the Boulders over the Grays. 3-1 from Beamer to Fedco. Popped up into center field. A few steps back for Quiggle. Lofts up the glove and makes the snag. 2 outs. Back-to-back flyouts to center to start the 7th for Beamer and the Otters. 2 outs, nobody on for the DH, Zach Bierman. Sussex County has just walked off Trois-Rivières. 3-2 win for the Miners over the Eagles. Sussex County with the win. They're 6.5 back of first place in the East. Their playoff hopes also still alive. Pitch to the lefty Bierman, taken low, 1-0. Florence finally ends their 6-game losing streak with a 12-4 win over Lake Erie. Both of those teams have been eliminated officially from the playoffs. 1-0, chopped off the end of the bat, foul 1-1. Gateway still leading Windy City 2-0 bottom 7. They are 6 outs away, the Grizzlies, from snapping the second longest playoff drought in the Frontier League. It's been 10 years since the Grizzlies last made the playoffs. Only Windy City has had a longer drought of 13 years, which is the longest drought in Frontier League history. The 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Beer. And Schaumburg holding on a tight game over Washington. They're 4-3 now, top 8 at Wintrust Field. Otters likely rooting for a Washington win there. The 2-1 on the outside corner. Just missed, but Bierman went around on the appeal down to third, 2-2. Beamer's trying to make it 7 in a row retired. Out of the windup, the 2-2 is lined high down the air, down the right field line, hooking foul. Off the warning track just to the right of the right field foul line, missed by a foot. Another out here for Beamer will tie his longest outing of the bullpen, out of the bullpen this season. 2-2 home. Popped up left side and out of play. And Bierman saying some words to himself as he just missed one. Just 3 hits tonight for the Slammers. A run in the second, run in the 5th. Base hit by Bierman in the first. They had a single by DePretta Johnson in the second. DePretta Johnson had his 5th hit of the series in the 5th. That's all their hits today. The 2-2 is lined into left center. Back as Rosario reaches up and makes the catch a couple steps from the track. Another 1-2-3 inning for John Beamer. He's retired 7 Slammers in a row out of the bullpen. We'll stretch here at Bosse. It's 7-2. Otters over the Slammers on the Otters Digital Network. Not too many more stretches and Sweet Carolines left this summer at Bosse Field. Penultimate series of the year here at Bosse in the Otters' final homestand. Looking for their first win of the week in front 7-2 this evening over the Otters. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports on this Wednesday night is brought to you by Bud Light. Jake Green will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Brad Van Aslen will stay in for the Slammers. He worked a 1-2-3-6, but the Otters damage done off the former Otter pitcher Ryan O'Reilly. 7 runs on 8 hits, including a 3-run 5th to build some breathing room. First pitch to Green, misses outside, 1-0. Otters trying to have another bounce-back night. They've done it all season long. Otters 26-11 coming off losses this year. What an impressive record. 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's remarkable to me. This game 85 of the season. The Otters have only twice all year lost 3 games in a row. twice. 2-0. Grounded left side, hard hit ball, gloved by Fedko off the ground. Throw to first in time to get Green. Pretty play from the hot corner by Fedko, 1 away. Bring up Austin Bose, the Otters second baseman, with 1 out and nobody on. 7-2 Otters in front. It's just the consistency is so remarkable from the Otters. They've refused to go into any sort of drought and let things spiral. And it's so easy in a long season and almost natural for the human condition to occasionally get down on yourself and have a slump. The Otters just have not had that happen to them this year. First pitch to Austin Bose, to strike on the outside corner, 0-1. It wasn't even until this month of August that they lost back-to-back series. After the Otters lost back-to-back series, they came right back. Here's the 0-1. Chop foul off the end of the bat, 1-1, and had their best road trip of the season last week, going 4-2 in a 6-game road trip. That's been the theme all year for the Otters, bouncing back. Only twice all year have they had a losing streak longer than 2 games, and 6 outs away from not making it 2 to start the week, evening up the series at a game apiece. One of only 2 teams still in the Frontier League that hasn't been swept this year. Quebec is the other. 0-2. Sent high in the air by Bose to left. Barrymore coming in a few steps under the baseball, makes the catch, 2 away. Back to the top of the order, 2 outs, and Noah Myers, who's had another special game at the plate. 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 doubles for Noah. 103 hits now on the season. He scored 2 more runs for 78 runs on the season. He's just 5 away from tying Josh Allen for the most runs in an Otters single season. And in my book, the runaway player for Frontier League Rookie of the Year. First pitch to Myers is swung on and missed, and it hit off the leg of Kevin Furman. The home plate umpire is in some pain, walking down the third base line. That's an ouch. Tough as nails to be an umpire. I think it hit off the hand, and the right hand of Furman. He's testing out that right hand, deflected off the right hand. He's calling everyone back. Thumbs up, saying he's all right. Have to appreciate the job umpires do on a day in and day out basis. An unforgiving job, and takes a lot of bumps and bruises and being yelled at, and they still do it with a smile every night. 0-1 count to Myers. Van Asland on the right side of the rubber, working out of the windup, comes home. Breaking ball at the knees is strike 0-2. Noah hitting 3 home runs, 10 hits, 10 runs, 11 RBIs last week, and being named Frontier League Player of the Week. Let's carry that over to a strong start to this week with already 4 hits in the series. 0-2 misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's amazing how versatile Myers is. He's top 10 in the Frontier League in a million different categories, which to me encapsulates how great of a player he is and why he should be the Frontier League Rookie of the Year. The 1-2 misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Myers is in the top 10 in the Frontier League in hits, in runs, in doubles, in extra base hits, in total bases, in walks, in stolen bases, and on base percentage. 2-2 is lined high in the air down the right field line, racing over Hill. It's a foul ball, looking onto the warning track. While Myers isn't in the top 10 in home runs, he's hit 16 long balls on the season as well. He has great power. His slugging percentage is also in the top 10 in the Frontier League. Didn't even mention that one. Entered today with a .570 slugging percentage, which if the season ended today would be 5th best in Otters history. Myers swings the 2-2 and lines it into right. Back is Hill, looking up and makes the running catch. G.J. Hill robbing Myers of a 3rd double of the day with a racing catch back in right field and making a pretty play on the edge of the warning track. Van Asland's retired 7 in a row out of the pen. After 7 innings played, it's the Otters in front 7-2 this evening on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Top of the 8th from Bosse. A 4-1 lead for the Otters over the Slammers this evening in the middle game of this series. A 7-2 lead, I should say. The Otters over the Slammers. 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Evansville, 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for Joliet. And what work by John Beamer out of the bullpen for the Otters. Came in, got the Otters out of a bases-loaded jam with only 1 out in the 5th and allowed just 1 run across. Since then, he's retired 7 batters in a row. And will start his 3rd full inning of work and face Tommy Stevenson. The Otters, who used 3 arms out of the bullpen last night, getting some much-needed long relief from Beamer out of the pen. And the 3 top relievers for the Otters in their bullpen, closer Polancic, setup man Kevin Davis, and the all-star Leone De La Cruz haven't been used yet this series. The first pitch to Tommy Stevenson is it inside for a ball, 1-0. The Slammers dreaming of a late run to somehow sneak into the playoffs, but if they can't complete the comeback, this will be a big blow tonight. The 1-0 misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. The Otters dreaming about champagne and popping it in their own clubhouse. Win tonight lowers the magic number to 5 and certainly keeps it a chance for the Otters to clinch here at home. The 2-0 misses inside, 3 balls and no strikes to Stevenson. Otters win again tomorrow night. And if Washington either loses tonight or tomorrow, the Otters' magic number goes down to just 3 entering the weekend. I think that's very possible for the Otters to then clinch it home against a struggling Florence team. 3-0 to Stevenson. Outside ball 4. That's the first base runner Beamer has allowed since a walk all the way back in the 5th inning. Leadoff walk to Stevenson. He's aboard at first. Evansville Otter fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Phillips steering comes to the plate. The runner at first to nobody out. First pitch sails outside to the first baseman. Now catching for Joliet after Stevenson moved over to first after suffering an arm injury. The 1-0 misses low for a ball, 2-0. Kevin Davis is going to start to throw in the Otters bullpen. Beamer's only at 33 pitches. He's been so efficient through 2 2/3. Already has equaled his longest outing out of the bullpen this season. He pitched 3 innings in his last outing on Wednesday at Florence in his first start. The 2-0 misses inside, 3-0. Maybe some fatigue here from Beamer. He's thrown 7 straight balls. .3-0 home. High for ball 4. 8 straight balls by Beamer to start this 8th inning. And Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, walking out to have a chat with Beamer. And Kevin Davis will likely start working quicker and quicker in the Otters bullpen. Otters got off to an early start tonight. Scratched across a run in the first. They had 3 straight hits to start the game. Myers and Quiggle doubled a base hit. Jeffrey Baez and an RBI double to drive in Myers. Otters got out in front. Joliet tied the game in the second. The RBI base hit by DePretta Johnson. He's had 5 hits on the series, but the Otters quickly retook the lead. As Otters had 2 more doubles in the second, 2 runs scored. And then Evansville added another run in the 4th. RBI base hit again by Baez. Myers would score a 2nd run of the game before 3 big ones in the 5th. Only 1 hit in the inning, but Ryan O'Reilly walked a pair of batters, hit 2, and another runner advanced on a swinging strike 3. The big 3 for the Otters in the 5th, the insurance they've needed, as G.J. Hill fouls the first pitch away from Beamer with the meeting done. Joliet did scratch across another run in the 5th, and they had the bases loaded twice in the inning, but there was 2 walks, a hit batter, and a single in the inning. Joliet stranded the bases loaded in the 5th. That was their big chance. Still just 3 hits and 2 runs tonight. 0-1 inside and past Hill back to the backstop. Both runners will advance. Fastball a little out of control there from Beamer. It actually went behind the ankles of Hill. He stepped in front of the home plate to get out of the way of the ball. 1-1. It's 37 pitches now for Beamer. Season high out of the bullpen is 52. 1-1. Check swing on a pitch outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the Slammers dug out with a call of good. Appreciating the take from G.J. Hill. Hill, the son of Glenn Allen Hill, who was a big leaguer for 13 seasons. Time is called. The last minute. And a ball from the Otters bullpen has gotten out onto the field and right. Baez will toss it back in. G.J. Hill, officially Glenn Allen Hill Jr. The 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. He wants to go by G.J. though. To create a new name for himself. Certainly play baseball. Your dad's a former big leaguer. Playing his shadow a little bit. Hill still honoring his dad, but mixing up his name a little bit. The 3-1 is ripped high in the air to right, but hooking well foul on a full count. Had Glenn Allen played 13 seasons, over 1,000 games in the big leagues. Cubs, the Giants, Blue Jays. 1989 to 2001 was a good hitter. 271 over his 13 seasons and an outfielder. Pitch misses low for ball 4. Payoff pitch goes for a walk to Hill, and 3 walks have loaded the bases for the Slammers to give themselves a chance here in the 8th, and that's going to do it for Beamer. He was awesome through 2 2/3, but just command fell apart here in the 8th. 3 walks to start the inning, and Kevin Davis will come out of the bullpen for the Otters to try to limit the damage here in the 8th. It's still a 7-2 lead for the Otters. Top 8, bases loaded, nobody out. Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Evansville called the bullpen. Now pitching number 66, Kevin Davis. Davis on the mound, green behind the plate. The pitch catch battery by the answer auto repairs. Find all your battery needs at the answer auto repairs located at 2319 North Green River Road. Give a call at 812-475-9000.
Back at Bosse Field, Joliet has the bases loaded in the top of the 8th, trailing 7-2. The Otters bringing their big 6'9" flamethrower into the ballgame, and Kevin Davis makes his 37th appearance of the season for the Otters, 2.30 ERA. He's allowed just 11 earned runs all season, 65 strikeouts to 27 walks, and he's been dominant in the month of August. Hasn't allowed a run in 11 1/3 innings pitched. Big Reddy will face the righty Lane Baremore. First pitch home, fouled away right side. 3 walks by John Beamer to start the inning here in the 8th have given the Slammers an opportunity to get back in this ball game. Trail by 5, but one swing of the bat here could bring it to a 1-run game. 0-1 to Baremore. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Stevenson at third, steering at second, Hill at first. Baremore is 0 for 3 today. High set from Davis. Delivers. Fastball right down the middle at 92. 1-2. Kevin had a dominant road trip. Didn't allow a run, of course, on the road trip as he has in all August. And He's looked pretty much untouchable in all 3 outings, 2 at Washington, 1 at Florence. 1-2 is chopped off the end of the bat, and he hits off Bearmore's leg. He runs down the first base line in some pain. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it hit Bearmore exactly where you just never want to be hit. And he's in some serious pain. You think the 92-mile-per-hour fastball, and then it's hit off the bat, and oh, man. There's just not much you can do but deal with the pain right now. Dan Schlereth out to check with Bearmore. And you think as a little leaguer, most little leaguers will wear cups to protect themselves, but actually talk with most pro baseball players, it's just so uncomfortable. They typically don't have that protection. Luckily, Bearmore's got a smile and shaking his head as he's still in some pain. 1-2 count, though, as he stays alive. We'll forget about the pain if he can find a way to get on base. Davis home. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Fastball at 93 rings up Bearmore, 1 away. This is exactly why you bring in the Otters. Kevin Davis, a flamethrower, bases loaded, he can get strikeouts, and maybe the best arm to escape this inning with as minimal damage as possible. 1 away, and brings up the second baseman, Matt McGarry. First pitch home to the righty. This is low, 1-0. Davis, one of the fastest pitchers in the Frontier League. He was clocked last week at 98 miles per hour, which was the second fastest pitch thrown in the Frontier League West, 98.5. The 1-0 misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Home. On the outside corner is strike 2-1 to McGarry. You know, Davis's ERA 2.30 is fantastic. It'd be even more dominant if you just take 1 outing out of the equation. That's why some people think the ERA is a flawed statistic. 2-1, cut on and missed. Big fastball 93 on the outside corner, 2-2. 5 of the 11 earned runs Davis has allowed on the season came in 1 outing all the way back at May at Quebec, and 4 of the 5 runs came across after he'd exited the game and Quebec hit a grand slam. Take that out of the equation, and suddenly Davis's ERA is in the low 1s. 2-2 to McGarry, swing and a miss. Electricity from Davis, fastball up and in at 93, strikes out McGarry, 2 away. McGarry with a word for DePreta Johnson, and it might have been nothing more but bueno suerte, good luck. As Kevin Davis is firing bullets again on this hot summer's night. Back-to-back Ks out of the bullpen. Will try to escape this bases loaded jam unscathed. The first pitch to DePreta Johnson, a fastball on the outside corner for his strike 0-1. We've seen nothing but just fastballs from Davis, challenging Joliet to catch up. The 0-1 popped up right side and drifting out of play 0-2. That was 94 on the gun. Strike away from striking out the side after coming in with the bases loaded and nobody out. High set for Davis, working out of the windup, kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. A kiss to the sky for Kevin Davis. And compliments to the chef for cooking up a masterpiece out of the bullpen. Kevin Davis enters with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 8th and strikes out the side. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball to finish DePreta Johnson. Electricity from the Otters reliever. The Otters in front 7-2, middle of the 8th. You're watching Otters baseball on Flow Sports and listening on the Otters Digital Network.
number 20, David Harrison. Harrison on the mound. Steering behind the plate, pitcher catcher battery. Sponsored by the Evansville Otters. Find all your battery needs at the Evansville Otters. Located
Welcome back to Bosse Field. It's a 7-2 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Time to take a look at the upcoming schedules for both teams. These teams will play in the series finale tomorrow. It's looking like a rubber match Thursday evening, 6:35 Central Time first pitch between the Otters and the Slammers. Evansville continues with a weekend series against Florence to close out their home schedule, 6:35 Friday and Saturday, and then a 12:35 Sunday home series finale Monday off day, and then the Otters will be at Gateway. Joliet continues their 9-game road trip with the commuter series against Windy City at Ozinga Field. Evening games Friday and Saturday, day games Sunday, and they're at Washington to start their last week of baseball next Tuesday. First pitch from David Harrison, the new righty in, faces Kona Quiggle and fires it in for a strike. Delivers, cut on and missed, 0-2. Harrison, a 3.52 ERA in 21 appearances, 23 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, just 11 walks. Strong start to the year for the 6'3 lefty. Recent graduate from NC State University from beautiful Rocky Mount, North Carolina. 0-2 to Quiggle. Cut off the end of the bat and bounces off the glove of steering onto the ground. Quiggle just stays alive. How about Kevin Davis for the Otters in the top of the 8th inning with one of the more electric appearances you could see. The 0-2, fouled away left side out of play. 3 straight batters walked to start the inning in the 8th. Davis brought in out of the bullpen. Nobody out, bases loaded, and strikes out the side, throwing straight fastballs. They never threw another pitch. 0-2, pitch sliding out of the zone, check swing by Quiggle. He went around, and there's out number 1. And it just doesn't get much better than that. Pitcher coming in a bases loaded jam and striking out the side. It was in a 5-run game, so it wasn't maybe in a high leverage situation you could call it, though Slammers were a swing away from getting back in the ball game. But Kevin Davis has just put up incredible numbers in the month of August. Jeffrey Baez swings the first pitch he sees and fouls it just down the left field line. It's now 68 strikeouts for Kevin in 44 innings. His ERA entering tonight at home was 0.36. He's allowed just 1 earned run at home all season, and now 20 1/3 innings pitched. And his ERA, 2.30 entering tonight. His batting average against 138, and now 12 1/3 innings in August without allowing a run. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and just been dominant. The 0-1 cut on and missed, 0-2. Otters have a couple guys standing up in their bullpen. Looks like it's the lefty Leone de la Cruz. It's not gotten work yet this series, warming up to try to close out the game in the 9th. The 0-2 to Baez misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two-two. Misses low and a full count. How about Windy City? Now, the champagne is probably quite literally on ice in the Gateway locker room. Windy City scores a run in the top of the 9th, down to their last few outs to bring that game to the bottom of the 9th. The 2-2 misses low. Check swing by Baez, appeal to first. He held up in a full count. So Gateway is going to try to walk off Windy City for a 2nd straight night. If they do, they clinch, become the first team in the Frontier League to clinch a playoff spot. Payoff home, Baez flies into center field, racing in is MacArthur, and makes the running catch, 2 away in the 8th. Now, if the Otters finish this game first, which at this point very well might happen, Gateway will have clinched the playoffs because of the result here at Bosse Field. Joliet losing, Gateway winning. Meaning the Grizzlies have clinched, but at this point they're, can't imagine paying attention to the score here at Bosse. They're trying to win the ball game. Schomburger's pulled away from Washington. They lead 6-3 now, top 9. First pitch to Phillips, a front door slider, doesn't slide enough and hits Phillips on the back. Right on the number 7. He turned away, and how about another hit by pitch? It's the third hit by pitch the Otters have taken to the game. Otters have already broken the franchise record for most hit by pitches in a season. Been hit by 4 pitches on the series. First pitch to Yomar Reyes, the righty. Inside, nearly hit him. He backs out of the way 1-0. Phillips at first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th, Otters lead 7-2. Home. Inside again, 2 balls and no strikes. Otters this season have been hit we're in game number 86. Here's the 2-0 coming from Harrison. Delivers. Chop left side and foul to the left of the third base bag. Otters have been hit by 109 pitches entering this evening, so 112 pitches in 85 games. Got hit by 104 last season, which set a franchise record. They're going to smash it this year. Oddly, kind of a quirk, but 2-1 misses inside. 3 balls to 1 strike. Andy McCauley's team's almost always towards the top of the Frontier League and hit by pitches, and they've taken it to a new level this year, being a gritty team willing to stand in and take pitches and take ones for the team and be a patient bunch as well. 3-1. Inside again, ball 4. Harrison walks Reyes after the hit by pitch. 2 aboard for the Otters with 2 outs.
That's a Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar.
Bring up Ethan Skinder. Try to make it a 3-hit day for Ethan. He's 2 for 4 today with 2 singles. De La Cruz still warming in the Otters bullpen. He'll try to get the last 3 outs of the night. Harrison home. It's inside again. Another slider missing. 1 out. It's also just felt all season, especially here at Bosse, that I don't know, you're at a 108-year-old ballpark, weird things happen. And there's just been a bunch of games this season where both sides, just tons of batters getting hit. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe it's the lighting. The light that bounces off the roof is difficult for pitchers and they lose command, or pitchers that come in used to pitching on all natural surfaces, or artificial turf surfaces, I should say, and come in on the all natural mound and lose their balance. 2-0. This is low. 3 balls and no strikes to Skinner. Whatever the case, it seemed like there's just been a lot of moments like tonight where suddenly you look up and 3 or 4 Otters have been hit by a pitch in a game. Mostly have happened here at Bosse. It's bound to be some magic when you play at a ballpark for 108 years. Some magic and some ghosts as well. They've all been pretty friendly to me so far. 3-0, high for ball 4. Hit by pitch and back-to-back walks for Harrison here in the 8th. The Otters have the bases loaded. Brian Rosario coming to the plate. Rosie's 0 for 3, hit by a pitch in the 5th. 7-2 lead for the Otters. They could add a few more off Harrison. Here in the bottom of the 8th.
Brian Rosario.
Pitch home from the lefty. At the knees for a much-needed strike, 0-1. Gateway's got a runner in second in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Closing in on a walk-off to clinch their first playoff berth in 10 years. Otters will be at Grizzlies Ballpark next week. The 0-1 by Rosario fouled away 0-2. And it's Schaumburg to finish the season for the Otters. They get Florence this weekend. 4 games at Gateway, making up a rain out here from Bosse. He'll play a doubleheader next Wednesday, a week from today. 0-2. Macy's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Otters tonight. 2 runs on just 3 hits for the Slammers, 1 error. One, 2 from Harrison. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside of the zone. Strikes out Rosario. And the Otters leave him stranded in the 8th. We go to the ninth inning. Evansville 3 outs away from a big W. They lead 7-2 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Evansville called to the bullpen. Now pitching for the Otters, number 29, De La Cruz. De La Cruz on the mound, green behind the plate, quick catch of batteries. Brought to you by the Answer Auto Repairs. How many battery needs at the Answer Auto Repairs?
Top of the ninth inning from Bossy Field. The Otters 3 outs away from a win and moving their magic number just 5 to make the Frontier League West playoffs. Leone De La Cruz into the ballgame, looking to get the last 3 outs of a 7-2 ball game. Leone making his 36th appearance of the season. All-Star Southpaw with a 2.56 ERA on the season has allowed 11 earned runs with 58 strikeouts to 18 walks. Face the lefty Liam MacArthur to start things off in the top of the ninth. De La Cruz home. MacArthur takes the strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Windy City has escaped the jam in the bottom of the ninth at Grizzlies ballpark. They're going to the 10th. 0-1. Misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. So most likely the Otters win. If the Otters win in the next couple minutes here, are going to give Gateway that needed result to clinch their playoff spot. The 1-1 cut on and miss, 1-2. Magic number of 1 entering the night for Gateway to be the first team in the West to clinch. First team in all the Frontier League, in fact, to clinch. De La Cruz out of the windup. The 1-2 popped up by MacArthur into shallow center. Racing back is Skinner. Over is Boast. In is Quiggle. And Quiggle makes the catch among the 3 white jerseys converging. There's 1 away in the ninth. I want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams. Make sure you use 10 Bars Professional Brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. Christian Fedko, third baseman, batting righty for Joliet, comes to the plate. It's 7-2 Otters here in the top of the ninth. De La Cruz home. Fedko takes a strike on the outside corner on a fastball. Nice bounce-back win for the Otters, it appears, tonight after just going to get anything going last night in a 9-3 loss. It's been a complete game tonight. The 0-1 foul off the screen, 0-2. What's been at times a bumpy month of pitching. How confident you were in tonight with Yohan Castillo making his first start with the Otters, but he went strong. John Beamer strong out of the bullpen. Kevin Davis with an electric 8th inning to escape a bases-loaded jam. The 0-2 popped up by Fedko right side and out of play. Any night where you're going into the ninth and you've held an opponent just 3 hits, it's sure to make you happy, especially after the Slammers mounted 13 hits last night. Oh, 2 to Fedko. Popped up into right center field. Baez racing in under the baseball, makes the catch, 2 away. And the Otters an out away from a victory.
The designated hitter, number 25, Zach Bierman.
Bring up Zach Bierman, the former Otter, the last chance tonight here for Joliet. Slammers do not have a hit in this game since the 5th inning. Prida Johnson has 2, and Bierman has 1 of them back in the first. First pitch, the lefty in for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Southpaw around and home. Chopped off the end of the bat. 0-2, and the Otters are a strike away. Evansville's worst day of the week has been Wednesdays. They're just 5-8 on Wednesdays this week. A strike away here from a Wednesday night W. The 0-2. Outside, just missed on a slider. 1-2. That was nasty from Leone. Just missed outside. Lefty on lefty matchup. Dylan Cruz above the bounce. 1-2 home. Outside again on a front door slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leone calls time. He wants a new ball. We'll toss one into the Otters dugout and get a new one from Jake Green. One more strike needed on this hot Wednesday night. Sidesteps and delivers. High, and a full count to Bierman. Dylan Cruz back to the rosin bag, wipes his hand along his thigh. Gets ready back on the rubber, trying to work a 1-2-3 ninth to give the Otters the victory. And time is called. And a pitch clock violation is going to walk Bierman. Oh, man. That's the worst spot to have it. It's funny, the first time this season, seeing a pitcher make a third disengagement in advanced runners, and this is the first time all season in Game 85 in the Frontier. We've seen a pitcher have a pitch clock violation that's ended in at bat. Payoff pitch was coming. De La Cruz took too long, so leads to ball 4 and a walk to Bierman. So he's at first. It brings up Tommy Stevenson. First pitch home, sails high, 1-0. First pitch clock violation of the week here at Bosse. We've seen 2 balks, couple disengagement violations. The 1-0 sails high. 2 balls, 1 ball and 1 strike. Make it. Caught the top of the zone. Think overall though, or game 85, you have to mark the new Frontier League rules as a success this season. The 1-1, Stevenson drives high in the air to center field. Quiggle racing back at the wall, looks up, it's gone. Tommy Stevenson with his second home run in as many days. Another massive blast to straightaway center over the head of Quiggle, right over the 400 marker. And the Slammers have cut the lead to 3. What a drive, 419 feet by Tommy Stevenson for his second home run of the season, 2 in back-to-back days. The new addition to the Slammers right before the transaction deadline, just his 7th game. Had a 2-run homer in the 3rd yesterday and a 2-out 2-run blast here in the 9th. It's now a 7-4 Otters lead. So it brings up Phil Steering. De La Cruz home, and Steering takes inside 1-0. Not over just yet, and the Otters closer Jake Polancic is starting to throw. Well, tough luck, you got a pitch clock violation to walk a batter, and then a home run by Stevenson. The 1-0 to Steering is fouled off the screen, 1-1. Somewhere, Gateway fans are just asking for this game to end. The Grizzlies now trail in the top of the 10th, trying to get across the finish line to clinch a playoff berth. The 1-1, a beautiful slider, but it just missed low, 2-1. Schaumburg has one at Washington, 6-4 win for the Boomers. 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Steering. De La Cruz got 2 outs on flyouts. A walk to Bierman with a full count came on a pitch clock violation. Then a home run to Stevenson. Now De La Cruz behind 3-1 to Steering. Pitch home. Outside, ball 4. This game is not over just yet, and now the Otters pitching coach Max Peterson out to chat with De La Cruz. Just wonder if that pitch clock violation rattled him. G.J. Hill will come to the plate, 0 for 3 today with a walk, as the tying run for Joliet comes onto the on-deck circle. This game feels firmly in the grasp of the Otters, but yeah, one more runner on, and all of a sudden, starts slipping away. Jake Polancic, Otters closer, has been lights out for the Otters, warming up in the bullpen. Max Peterson is going to leave De La Cruz out here to try to get this last out of Hill. Had a walk back in his last at bat in the 8th, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout.
Right fielder number 20.
Hill had 2 hits, including a double, and reached 4 times yesterday with a walk and a hit by pitch. Ready batter to face the lefty Leone, who will work out of the stretch. Now 22 pitches here in the 9th. De La Cruz home. Strike right down the middle on a fastball. 91 at the top of the zone. Multiple times, De La Cruz has been a strike away from finishing the ballgame. Oh, 1. On the inside corner, a strike going 2 to Hill. And again, the Otters a strike away. Leone out of the stretch on the left side of the bump. Delivers. Popped up right side and shifting out of play. De La Cruz sets above the bounce. Delivers. Inside, 1 and 2. Just missed. Backdoor slider. Everyone here just wants to go home with an Otters victory. That last strike and that 27th out is always the hardest. 1-2 home. Fouled off the screen. If Hill reaches, the Otters probably bring in Jake Polancic for what is a safe situation if Polancic comes in. Another 1-2 coming. Pitch home. Lined right at the shortstop. Skinner over his glove and into left field. Base hit for Hill, and the Slammers have life here in the 9th. Just over the glove of Ethan Skinner at short. And the Otters are going to bring in their closer, Jake Polancic, as the Slammers will bring Lane Baremore to the plate as the game-tying run. Boy, has this escalated in the 9th quickly. A 2-run home run by Stevenson, a walk to Steering, and Hill gets just enough on a swing of a ball just over the head of Skinner and into left. And the Otters closer, Polancic, in. We'll be right back. Some drama here in the 9th inning. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Evansville, call the bullpen. Now pitching, number 27, Jake Polancic. Polancic on the mound, green behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repairs. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repairs. Located at 2319 North Green River Road. Call 812-475-9000.
Back at Bosse Field, a 7-4 lead for the Otters over the Slammers in the top of the 9th. But Joliet brings the tying bat to the plate in Lane Baremore. The Otters closer, Jake Polancic, into the ballgame. 15 saves on the season, 15 for 17 in save chances. A 1.88 ERA leads the Otters in 28 2/3 innings pitched. Righty Barrymore is 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. First pitch home to the righty, chopped third base side, glove by Reyes. He'll toss to second in time for the force out, and on one pitch, the game is over for Jake Polancic and the Otters.
The Otters are in the final score.
Got a little more interesting than Evansville would have liked in the ninth. Polancic on one pitch will earn his 16th save of the season, but it's an Otters win, and Evansville lowers their magic number to make the Frontier League West playoffs to 5 games. They're also celebrating in Grizzlies Ballpark. The Gateway Grizzlies, with the result here, will make the Frontier League playoffs for the first time in 10 seasons. A 5-4 ground out off the bat of Barrymore, and just one pitch from Polancic coming into the game retires the side. Slammers got the tying run on in the ninth to make things interesting, but the Otters closed things out on what overall was a really dominant pitching performance this evening by the Otters. They hold the Slammers to just 5 hits today on 4 runs. The Otters 7 runs on 8 hits. Got out to an early lead, a run in the first, added 2 more in the second. The big 3-run fifth ended up being the difference for the Otters in a 7-4 victory this evening from Evansville. Second win of the season will go to Johan Castillo. He goes to 2-0 on the year. First start with the Otters. He was strong tonight. 4 1/3 innings pitched, allowed just 1 earned run over 3 hits. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts to 3 walks. John Beamer retired 7 batters in a row coming in out of the bullpen. He walked 3 batters in the 8th to load the bases, but Kevin Davis came in and was absolutely electric, striking out the side with the bases loaded and nobody out. Otters had De La Cruz and Polancic come in the 8th and the 9th, with Jake Polancic earning his 17th, make it 16th save of the season on just 1 pitch, a ground out to end proceedings in the 9th. Joliet led by Tyler DePreta Johnson. He had a 2-hit day. Ryan O'Reilly will take the loss. The former Otter taking the loss here in his return to Bosse Field. 4 2/3 innings worked, 8 hits on 7 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts for O'Reilly. He falls on the season to 1-6. Otters offense, it was another Noah Myers-led day. 3 for 4 for Noah, 2 batted in, 2 runs, 2 doubles. He started the Otters day with a double and had hits in 3 of the big 4 innings for the Otters. Ethan Skinner added a multi-hit day as well, 2 for 4. The Otters took 6 walks and also 3 hit by pitches, scored in 4 of the first 5 innings. The final totals again today: 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Evansville, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Joliet. Otters improved to 47-38 on the season, back to 9 games over 500, with ties a high water mark on the year. Waiting the results in Gateway, the Otters with a loss at Gateway could move to 5 back of first place, but they now move to 6.5 up over Joliet for the last playoff spot in the West, and the Otters' magic number to make the Frontier League West playoffs is down to 5. I want to give a big thanks to our 2 guests that hopped on the broadcast this evening for a little showcase of the work that gets done around here at Bosse Field. The chief groundskeeper for the Otters, Dan Klusner, as well as the head of food and beverage for the Evansville Otters, Bryson Moore. It was really a blast having them on the air and getting to showcase some of the amazing people that make everything possible every night here at Bosse Field. For our entire excellent crew this evening, our camera ops, Dan Murphy and John Smith, our director, Michael Rust, and our excellent team back with Flow Sports in Texas. I've been Griffin Epstein on the Otters Digital Network. The Otters even up the series at a game apiece, a 7-4 victory over Joliet. Join us tomorrow evening for the series finale, 6:35 first pitch between Evansville and Joliet. The Otters' magic number is down to 5 to make the Frontier League West playoffs. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Until then, good night from the River City.